What's good, man? It's your boy, the Wallstreet Trapper. Welcome to episode 44. Listen, we got an amazing audience in here tonight. Audience, can I get some noise? Definitely got to give my audience some love. We like that, we like that. We like that, we like that. We got the live audience in, man. So tonight is special. We got a lot of things to talk about. But I always want you to understand that Trappin is designated and is designed to help you take your investment life, your investment career to another level. On a journey to building wealth, you should always have a solid foundation. Something that you can rely on, something that you can stand firm in, something that you know without a shadow of a doubt is the catalyst to where you're going. So I want to start off this week by saying something. We are a product of the decisions that we've truly made in our past. Old behaviors, old mindsets, but most importantly, old languages. The languages that we speak are some first start as languages that we think. So before we speak it, we must think it. So I want you to understand this, what I'm about to say. I want you to really write it down, and I want you to look at it, and I want you to make a decision. When a new truth collides with an old habit, we have to make a decision in that moment to choose the one that advances us the most. When a new truth, meaning when you have learned something new, when you have been placed with a new idea, with a new thought, with a new concept that can truly change your life, or at least has the potential to change your life. And when that truth collides with an old belief, all right, we talking new truths and old beliefs. Belief systems are the product or the catalyst or the fuel to what we run on, all right? Our old beliefs. So when a new truth collides with an old belief, you in the moment have to decide which one advances you the most. Okay, so you may come from a situation, it come from a place where they said that you must go to college, like no matter what. That is a belief system, that is an old truth that you may have stood on firmly, that your family may have passed down to you. But then what happens when you come into a new belief that says college is not the right thing, it's not going against it, but it says, yo, there's another way. There's another way to be successful. It's not saying that college is wrong, it's saying that, yo, there may be another way to achieve the same success. And at that moment, you, the vehicle, have to decide which road am I taking? Which one advances me the most? Can it be perplexed? Of course. Can it be a decision that alters the trajectory of your life? Of course. So what do we do when a new truth collides with old belief? What do we do in that moment? What do we do when everything that our parents has taught us no longer fits where we are in this moment in our life? What do we do? What do we do? It can be scary. It can be a decision that some people can truly regret. The I told you so's hurt different in failure. The regret that I should have, they hurt different in failure. But the reason why most people truly do not take the path that is less chosen is because of the old belief. It's because we as human beings are comfort-seeking individuals. We seek comfort. we often sometimes seek validation. And that validation may sometimes contradict what you truly believe in your heart, where you need to be at. So what happens? What do we do? Again, the question is, what do we do? What do you do when where you are trying to go contradicts the validation? What do you do when where you see in your heart, what do you see in your mind you need to be contradicts everything you've learned? Again, what do you do when a new concept or a new thought collides with an old belief? What do we do? I want you to take a second and think about the old belief systems. Yes, you can build wealth. We know it's possible. Yes, you can be a millionaire. We know it's possible. Yes, you can change your family's financial blueprint. Yes, we know it's possible. The possibilities aren't off the table, but what do you do when the possibilities don't align with the old beliefs? What do? That's always the question. The success and failure of a life is often based on decisions. One of my mentors, Eric Thomas, said, you have to get better at decision making. So when I look at my life, I'm like, all right, I've made some good decisions. I've made some bad decisions. But what can I do better at making the decisions in the moment? Because in most cases, if we have time to think about the decision, I'm going to go on record to say in most cases, if we have time to think about the decision, we can make the right one. It's the ones that we have to make in the moment. Those are the ones that are costly, and those are the ones that often move the needle. Let's talk about myself for a second, because I always like to go from who I was. I like to go from personal attributes. I like to go from personal experiences. In the moment when I went to prison, there was a decision that I made in that moment. And one of my OGs said, Free, just calm down. We can revisit this. And I'm like, nope. This gotta happen right now. He tripping. Yeah, I went into it emotionally. I erupted. So it's the decision that I made in the moment that cost me 10 years. Now, after the 10 years, I had to start making better decisions. How many decisions have you made in the moment that have set you back? How many decisions have we made in the moment that has propelled us forward? Now, let's peel back another layer of that. How many financial decisions have we made in the moment that have hindered our growth? How many vacations have we took and you said, damn, I really ain't need to take that? How many times have we swiped the credit card and then we are afraid to look at the statement in the end of the month? Damn, I shouldn't have did that. Matter of fact, I didn't even want to look at it. I'ma just pay the bill. Financial trauma now. How much of the trauma is inflicted by ourselves? Let's go back to the statement. When a new truth collides with an old belief, we have to be, watch this, proficient at picking the one that advances us, not the one that anchors us. How many of us are anchored to old belief systems? The old ones. The ones that say, don't pay yourself first, pay the bills first. That is an old belief system. Show of hands of the audience, how many people have been anchored to that belief system? It's okay. There's no judgment here. Pay the bills first. The bills are important. The bills are the roof over your head. The bills is the food. The bills is the water. The bills is the rent. Paying yourself first becomes revolutionary. It becomes revolutionary because it now says, I'm not worried about the bills, I'm worried about self first, and the bills will come second. But it doesn't say that the bills won't get paid. It's small tweaks that we got to make on a journey. It's small tweaks that help us. We build wealth one share at a time. My favorite quote is, poor people live check to check, rich people live year to year, wealthy people live generation to generation. How do we get to the generational part, Trap? Because I've witnessed the check to check, Trap. I've lived the check to check, Trap. The year to year part, I may have visited it. But the generational part, that seems too far off. How do I get there? Do I get there all at once? Do I play the lottery? Because the lottery on my income tax is the only thing that makes me think that I can get a lump sum of money. When a new belief collides with an old concept, when a new truth collides with an old concept, we have to take the one that advances us. Tonight, I need you to focus on the old beliefs that have anchored us. I'm going to say this thing about 10 times tonight in the course of this 2-hour show, because we're not doing 3 hours tonight. I hate that y'all don't believe me. I hate that y'all don't believe me. Sometimes I may not even believe myself, but it sounds good. But I need you to take that and sit on that, because it does not matter how much new information you have. If you are anchored to, if your foundation is, if what you are trying to build on is the old beliefs, you will only go as far as that conventional knowledge takes you. There's a saying when you learn and when you get mentored, there's a saying that you can't come here with a full cup. You have to empty the cup. You have to empty what you had so you can take the new information. Because if you have a full cup and you pour water on top of it, the water at the bottom stays, the water, everything you put in just comes off the side. It's waste, it's overflow. But if you empty the cup, and then you pour in it, you now have time to do what? Fill it up. So, decision time. What old beliefs are you willing to get rid of? So that you can now take in, so now that you can be nourished by the new truths. Jose, this episode should have been named The New Truth. No. Today, give me a beat, bro. Let me hear that. What you got for me? You've been in there all week. I need to see what you got. How y'all feeling, y'all? Yeah, they full. I like that. Your role on your wealth building journey cannot be passive. You cannot be passive when it comes to building wealth. You can have passive income, but in the beginning, because most of us are the outliers, most of us are the trailblazers, most of us are the version of the Harriet Tubman, most of us are the people with the vision. So you can't be passive in this phase of the wealth building journey. You gotta be aggressive. You gotta be all in. You gotta make the decisions that hurt. You gotta stand in it. The hardest part of the learning curve is the part that makes you doubt everything you're doing. Once you get past that part, you've entered a new level. Once I realized that, okay, if I'm gonna live off 30 and invest 70, that was hard for me. Living off 30% of my income, I was still on an air mattress. That was uncomfortable because sometimes the air mattress in the middle of the night had this thing where it would go flat. So I wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning, hit the air mattress, get it back up, go to sleep in the air mattress, and at 5 o'clock it's back flat again, but I had to go to work, so I was cool. That was uncomfortable, but I did it for 18 months. And I didn't panic, I didn't trip. Getting past the learning curve is the hardest part. Most people won't get themselves some optimum help because once the resistance of life start pulling at you, once that gravitational pull to put you back in the comfort zone starts pulling on you a little bit much, you start questioning yourself. You start asking yourself, is this worth it? Should I be doing this? Yes, you should. Inky Johnson said something that I love before we get into this message. He says, what happens when the feeling that you had when you first started the mission goes away? Do you still keep that same energy? Do you still keep that same strength? Do you still keep that same commitment? You know, when you wake up and say, yo, I'm gonna lose weight. I'm gonna get myself in the gym. I'm gonna go to the gym. What happens 2 weeks in when you don't have that same mindset no more? You start looking in the mirror like, I'm not that bad. Like, I'm really okay right now. I could just wear one piece and be good. What happens, bro? You wearing a t-shirt in the pool. What we talking about? Jose said don't do that. But at some point, the man said, or the woman said, I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna get this thing together. So what happens when the feeling that you had when you first started goes away and now you are stripped down to the essence of what remains, and what remains is the residue of who you are. Toodie, turn up a little bit. Hey, we got a hell of a show tonight, y'all. Jose, we are 17 minutes in, we got 1,500 people. That's good. That means we working. Shout out to the goddamn trappers, man. Shout out to the goddamn trappers, man. All right, listen, man, if you in the chat right now, man, meet me on Trappin' Tuesdays. Episode 44 is gonna be amazing. And when you get to the trap, I need you to say, we here. When you get to the trap, I need you to say, we here. Got a dope show for us tonight. Again, this will not be a 3-hour episode. This will not. I will see y'all in the chat, man. Let me know when you get there. All right, let's go. I feel good. Toodie been working on that one. I like that. I like that. I like that. Bring it down, Toodie. Let's get that mantra up there, man. Let's get that mantra up there, man. Let's go, man. What's good? What's good? What's good, everybody, man? Again, welcome to episode 44. I can't believe we 44 episodes in, man. I'm not gonna lie, man. When something started as a vision, now this is a part of my everyday life. Sundays be Trappin' Tuesday to me. Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays be Trappin' Tuesdays to me. Because it's a part of my life. So because of that, this is why we created this mantra. Because I believe on your journey to building wealth, you have to always be able to look back at something that makes you remember why you started. You can get caught up in saving, you can get caught up in investing, you can get caught up in the market. It can sometimes be discouraging. But you gotta look back at something to make you realize why you started. So even when I say the mantra, sometimes I get caught up in certain phases because certain parts of this mantra hit different to me. So let's go, man. Y'all know how we do it, man. I am a certified Wallstreet trapper. I am confident in my ability to make great investments. The stock market is a machine that prints money, and I am more than capable of operating that machine. Not only will I free myself, but I will free my family for a lifetime based on the information I apply today. I'm a money maker and a wealth builder. Today, I break the chains that anchor me to that financial poverty mindset. See that right there? That right there? That breaking free? All right, man, my ancestors will smile now because I have turned my last name into an asset. Now that I got to repeat. I got to repeat that. My ancestors will smile now because I have turned our last name into an asset. My family's purchasing power will increase indefinitely. Today I make the declaration that no longer will I be a slave to money. No longer will the generations behind me inherit lack. I am the first generation millionaire. I am the architect of my family's legacy. I am a certified Wall Street trapper, and Wall Street looks like us now. Come on, clap for that. Clap for that. Clap for that. I had to grab the seat, y'all. One time I fell. I was grabbing it, the thing just rolled up under me. I said, all right, man, so let's get into it, man. Our first segment is Word on the Street. Now, today we had a hell of a day today. Everything was down. All three indices was down. I truly believe at this moment we are now experiencing the market reacting to the debt ceiling. So today the S&P 500 erased $400 billion in market cap in 4 hours. That is extreme panic. We have 9 days left until the debt ceiling must be addressed in its entirety. Now, tonight we'll talk about different ways and different dynamics on how that looks. This isn't the first time we've been here, but this is the first time that many of us have experienced this. Of course, we must understand that every year America can only borrow so much money. You can only borrow so much. We faced a similar crisis in 2011, but also in 1985. So this is not new to us. But I want to put some things in context because you're going to see the market go through something that will truly make a lot of people panic, and it'll make a lot of people fear. Just a flashback, I want to say this. America can default for a couple days. Now, I'm not saying that they'll default intentionally, but what happens is you have two parties. You have a Republican Party, you have a Democratic Party, and both parties have a different idea on how the country should spend money. Does that make sense? So like if you're married, like you got a man, you got a woman, wait, let me be politically correct. You have two individuals. You have two individuals that have agreed to companionship, that we're going to spend the rest of our life together. But they may have a difference in opinion on how we should spend money as a unit, right? You have individual A, man, hell with that. You got a woman that says this. You got a man who's saying this, right? Their concept and philosophies behind money oftentimes has been originated through their family structure, right? So let's say the man says, I want to invest for a house. The woman may say, we're not worrying about a house, I just want to make sure these bills paid, right? So in order to get the house, we have to do what? Save. The woman like, we're not worrying about no house, I want to get the bills paid. So now we have a conflict, at least for a moment, right? At least for a moment. So the Republicans are saying, yo, in order for us to get the debt ceiling down, we have to cut expenses. That's what they're saying. In order for us to get the debt down, we got to cut expenses because right now we're spending $1.3 billion a day as a nation just on interest payments on the $32 trillion. Okay, let's put that in perspective. America is right at $32 trillion in debt. We're spending $1.3 billion a day just to service the interest, not even pay the debt down. Okay, so we're not even tapping into the $32 trillion. We just paying the interest on the debt. Do we understand that? We good with that, right? The Democrats are saying, bro, we ain't got to cut nothing. Let's just increase the debt ceiling. Me as the individual, I'm not saying nobody right or wrong, but common sense to me is saying, We gotta stop spending. I'm just looking at it from a household perspective. Like, yo, we in debt. Let's stop. Even Dave Ramsey would say stop spending, goddammit. You know what I'm saying? Like, even Dave gonna say stop spending. You don't just, so if we just, I'm not Republican or Democrat. I just go through life how I feel, right? You put what you want, put on it. But I think at some point, common sense has to come in, and both parties have to do what is right for the country. That's all I'm with. I'm with, yo, how do we get people in here that put their ego and emotion to the side and say, yo, what is right for the almost 400 million people that live in America? What is right for the 400 million people who always have to bear the burden of this debt? For the 400 million people who have to pay because we keep spending. What do we do for the people? Black, white, Asian, whatever, purple. What do we do for the people who call this home? What do we do? And I think when we talk about putting the right people in office, we need to first ask them, yo, what are your finances like? What are your finances like? Because if you're about to tell me what I got to pay, can I see your balance sheet, personal? Are you upside down? How many times have you refinanced the home? Are you still in college debt? What does your investment portfolio look like outside of Nancy Pelosi's tips? Do you got Donald Trump's accountant? Because when we put people in office, even though they know politics, they aren't right financially. So all they know is spend money. So if all you know is spend money, it's only a matter of time before we're $50 trillion in debt. And all we know is the America that is the big dog. We don't know America that's the number 2 country. We don't know America that's the number 3 country. We don't know the America that gets bombed all. We don't know that America. We're not familiar with that. That is an alien concept to us. But trust me, a country that has no financial strength is now looked at as a weak country. And I'm gonna say this: nobody respects the broke person at the table. Shut up, you broke. Move. I'm being real. This don't have nothing to do with white or black. This has everything to do with, like, financial fortitude. What makes sense? I was on David Shan's show the other side. I said, bro, I don't know another country that I will go live in. I don't know. Somebody told me, I was talking to a guy in the airport. He was like, he moved to Turkey. And one person said him and his wife moved to, it start with a P, Poland. Moved to Poland. He said, bro, it's amazing over here. I was like, bro, all right. Are you insinuating that I should move? Because I don't see that in my future. I'll visit, maybe, because Poland is probably not on my vacation list. But the thing is, if we have a group of people who are both parties are saying they're for the people. If both parties are saying they're for the people, at what point do you put the people in the front seat? At what point do we do that? Right? Like, I know we're going to talk about this tonight too, but all of my realtor people are going to get mad at me because right now, in 80% of America, it now costs more to own a home than to rent. In 80% of America. In 80% of Metro America, it now costs $1,000 more to own a home than to rent it. I'm not saying ownership or renting, whatever you do is best for you, but what I'm saying is if home ownership is the catalyst to building wealth, so say, then why now is it cost more to own a home than rent a home? Why? Because the American taxpayer is getting chastised for political parties' bad decisions. That's what's happening right now. So what do we do when we were spending $1.3 billion a day just to pay the interest on the debt? How does that look? How does that look when we have a Federal Reserve who is not even a part of the American so-called or the federal so-called government's agenda, who says we need to lose another 2 million jobs? Okay, so let's just put that in context. Okay, so we're paying $1.3 billion a day in interest. You want 2 million more people to lose jobs. Home ownership is now costing the average person $1,000 more. Yo, how do we survive in this America? How do we survive in this America? What happens to the person who bust their tail to get the job because America told us there was a certain blueprint to being successful in life? America told us that there was an American dream that said 4 years in college, retire at 65, pay down the debt, own a home. America told us that was the blueprint. What happens when that blueprint turns out to be a nightmare? What happens in that moment? When the husband and the wife who've come together and said, this is the blueprint that we had. I'm the first homeowner of my family. I'm the first person that went to college in my family. What happens? I'm the first person to have life insurance in my family. What happens when we look at each other and say, babe, I don't know what the hell to do. Honey, I don't know what the hell to do because the American blueprint has failed me. What do we do in this America when the Republicans and the Democrats that's supposed to represent the people cannot come to a common ground to say, yo, we need to stop paying. We don't need to increase the ceiling and just keep spending money. At some point, yo, we need to stop money. We need to stop spending. We need to stop printing. This is, I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat. This just makes sense. Okay, let's go a little further. Gotta write this down right quick so I don't lose my thought. The GDP, the gross domestic product of America. Gross domestic product means income import, export is 120%, which means America is 20% more, has 20% more debt than money that it brings in. Let that sink in. Okay, let me make it hit home. So let's say you make $100,000 a year. At the end of the year, you have 20% more debt than you have income coming in. That's what America is right now. How can American people survive in this culture? So now I told y'all, my audience, I told them something earlier. I said, the more you learn to invest, the more you will see how it changes the trajectory of your family. It changes. Once you learn to invest and you become aggressive at investing, you'll look back and look at everybody else and be like, damn, I used to move like that. Well, guess what? 90% of American citizens are moving like America. The fruit don't fall too far from the tree. So I picked up my bad habits from America. This is why the blueprint is faulty. This is why we must do something different. The borrowing cost now has increased like crazy. The borrowing cost. So now what happens is the cost for America to borrow money has increased. So now here's I'm getting into my content and I ain't even got here yet. This is me though. This is on my heart. The information on the screen really be for the people, not for me. This is in my head. I look at it every day. I study it and I watch it on my TV and I'm like, bruh. Sometimes I really feel like I can run this goddamn country. God damn it, Trappin president. I just cook the ass. I just don't understand how, our politicians don't see it. It's not really that hard. It's not that hard. We're $31 trillion in debt, fam, almost $32 trillion in debt. We printed $8 trillion in the market during the pandemic. I get it, you didn't want the market to collapse. All right, cool. But then what happened was $3 trillion of the dollars went to service and $5 trillion of the dollars, it looked like it went to the people, but it went right back into the people pocket who printed it. They just used us as a scapegoat. Okay, for my people that don't understand, what I'm saying is, I always got to write it down to make it make sense to me. All right, so you print $8 trillion in the market. Jose, get a whiteboard for me. I need you to see it. I think sometimes when you see it, it just makes more sense to you. You feel me? My only discrepancy with the show is the people that sit over here, you probably got to look over there. Some kind of way, I'm going to find a way to make this better for y'all. Yeah. I don't know. I done got addicted to the whiteboard at this point in my life. You hear me? All right, so let me just make this make sense to everybody. so we can understand how this works. Are we good? Shout out to my team, man. They be on it, man. I be putting them in a bind. They be in a bind, Nate. All right, so watch this. So let's just look at this. We'll go government. Can y'all see that? We'll go government, govern, and then we'll put people. I'm going to put peeps. All right? Y'all like that? All right, so, and then we'll put Fed. So America tells us all the time that the Federal Reserve is not a part of the government. You can believe that if you want. On paper, they aren't. But believe you me when I tell you, they are like first cousins. Right? So America makes bad financial decisions all the time. America is the parent that makes bad financial decisions. The Fed is the rich auntie. Right? She got all the money. So America tells them, yo, we in a bind, Nate. We need to print some money. The Fed says, all right, cool. We print $8 trillion. Right? So who gets that? Well, it's going to look like the people get it. It looks like the people get it. Right? So what happens when you give the people the $8 trillion? These people are tied into, watch this, companies. Right? That produce products. So the people get the money, and the people do what? Spend the money right here. Because the people have bought into what? The fake American blueprint. Y'all with me? So, and that blueprint was given to us in school. Hear me out, y'all. So the government makes bad financial decisions. Bad D. Goddamn. And I ain't changing it. So the government makes bad decisions. The Fed has the money. The government tells the Fed, yo, we got to print some money because of what's going on in the economy. We don't want the economy to fail. Boom, the Fed says, okay, we will print the money. So they print the money. All right, cool. The people get the money in the form of stimulus. Right? But what happens when the people get $1,000, $2,000 of money that's free? The people come here to the companies. Not all, but 80%. So now the money, watch this, that comes from the companies go right back and get distributed to right here. Ultra. Yeah. Why did I say ultra wealthy? Because the people that's ultra wealthy have a net worth of 30 million or more. Now here's the jig in all of this. Once the government tells the Fed to print the money, once the Fed prints the money look like it goes to the people spend the money goes back to the ultra wealthy because they spent it with the countries. But watch this. Watch this. Ultra wealthy increase wealth by 5 trillion in 2 years. You can't do that if you don't print $8 trillion. Does that make sense? How else can I increase my wealth by $5 trillion in 2 years if I don't print $8 trillion? Where did the other 3 trillion go, Trap? Interest payments to the Fed. So now everybody got paid but the people. The people were only used as a mechanism. Does that make sense? So while it looked like I was giving you money, I already knew what your habits were because I gave you the habits, the government, the school system, the education. I want you to understand that orthodox information gives you predictable results. You already understood what you was going to do with the money. You sitting inside, you ain't got nothing else to do. You ain't gonna think about investing. The stock market is crashing. Why would you invest in stocks? Real estate is crashing. Why would you invest in real estate? This free money. Guess what I'm about to do with this? Go buy a bunch of stuff that I ain't never had, or a bunch of stuff I wanted to have. I'm gonna waste this money. Not knowing that 2 years from now is gonna be needed again, but this time we can't save you. Why we can't save you? Because now, we started off the pandemic $24 trillion in debt. Now we at $32 trillion in debt. Ain't no more freebies. Ain't no more freebies. So now you got the people looking for the free money, and the free money not known exists. And what the people saying is this: not only did we give you the free money, so now you don't want to go to work, but guess what we doing now? Now the jobs ain't even much there no more. And so now what happens? Oh yeah, 2 million more y'all gotta lose jobs. Why? Oh, because the 8 trillion that we put out there, that got the inflation rate too high. We gotta bring that down to 2%, 2.5%. And the only way to do that is we gotta now stop more people from spending money. So now the money that is spent, we gotta hold that because we don't need that much more money in circulation. So now we got to take money out of circulation. So now we need to lose jobs. We need y'all to lose jobs because if you got a job, that's what you're doing. You spending money. And as long as you spending money, I can't bring this inflation down. And if I can't bring this inflation down, guess what? Y'all going to collapse anyway. So guess what? I need y'all to stop working. So what I got to do now? I got to raise interest rates up. Okay, let's talk about something I said in the beginning. What do you do when a new truth collides with an old belief? The reason why I love the stock market so much is because it provides me with a clear vision of so many new truths. The new truths are just simply, how is America working as not a country, but as a business? Once we understand how the business of America works, we can free ourselves. God damn it. How y'all feeling, man? Let's go. Toodie, turn my soundboard up, dog. All right, where's my ink pen, y'all? All right, cool. Let's go a little further. God damn, we didn't even get out of the front. God damn. I'm gonna put that speed up on my screen, Toodie. Telling you not, dog. All right, man, so all three down. Today we talk about the heat check. Y'all know we love to talk about the heat check. The heat check puts us in a situation where we understand how the calls and puts are moved. Now, this is important for us because for me, this shows me how the market is moving. So if there's more calls in the market than puts in the market, then you'll kind of see almost a green day. If there's more puts in the market than calls in the market, then you'll kind of see a red day. Now, today was interesting because the calls and puts were almost equal. Today was more about sentiment. Sentiment is the emotional part of the market and the news that's in the market. Sometimes the news plays a significant catalyst. Let me rephrase that. 90% of the time, the news plays a significant catalyst in how the market is moving. Because we are so close to the debt ceiling date, the sentiment is now in the market that we're going to default. So today they kind of evened out. We had calls a little bit more. With the put call ratio, we already know that 1 is the number that tells us if the market is going bearish. 1 or more means bearish. Today we were at 1. I think over the next week, we will see a lot of red. In my own personal opinion, I think we'll see red over the next week unless they come up with an idea, a goal. And the crazy part is, either decision can send the market deeper in the red. Because we know the market is based on buyers and sellers. So what if the market, if they come out and say, yo, we're going to spend more money, then essentially the market knows what? We about to go in more debt. That can hurt. Or they can say, yo, we not spending no money, we're going to cut these budgets. We can go in more debt. So even after the decision that's made, we still could be facing some tough times, which now puts us in a position to go deeper in the recession. Let's go a little further. Today. All right, so y'all know I've been putting y'all on this heat check right here, man. The heat check is amazing. It gives us we can check the temperature. It's a gauge on what happened in the market today. I want you to understand something. Anytime you see Apple and Microsoft down in the same day, it's probably a red day. Because those two companies together represent 13% of the S&P 500. So think about this. Two companies represent 13% of 100, meaning 100%. If those two companies are down, they're going to drag the S&P down. So then they're down big. You got Microsoft down 1.84%, Apple down 1.5%, Google down 2%, well, 1.99%, NVIDIA up down 1.5%. You're talking about these are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 companies that have truly been holding the S&P up. These are the 6 companies that truly been holding the market up. NVIDIA, not that they had the best performance in the market, well, NVIDIA does, but what happens is because of their size, right? Size matters. Because of the size, meaning market cap, they are holding the market up. So the reason why the market is up is because these Microsoft, Apple, Google, Facebook, Amazon, Tesla, NVIDIA, because they are nice size companies, they are holding the market in the positive territory. Okay, think about last year. Why was the market down so bad last year? Well, Apple, Microsoft, NVIDIA, Google, Amazon, they were all what? Down. So when you understand that what's holding the market down or what's pushing the market up, always you can look at those few companies. All right, let's go a little further. Today. All right, so let's look at this. So I told y'all that the U.S. now spends more money servicing the debt, but watch this. One of the biggest things that America often spends money on is defense. That's why I told y'all this earlier. Hello, invest in defensive companies because America loves to spend money on guns. Well, we are at a point now where America is spending more money just to service the debt than it is on protecting us. Let that sit in for a second. America is now spending more money on the debt that it is acquired than it is protecting us. This is not a good time for that. Because when you have countries are forming alliances, you have countries that are truly saying, yo, we want to replace the dollar, which countries have already been saying that. But when you combine that with now we have to spend more money on servicing the debt than protecting you, Houston, we have a problem. Now, I'm not trying to scare nobody. I just want you to understand what's on the table. Do we understand what's on the table? All right, watch this. Bloomberg reports that the estimated annual cost to the U.S. to service the debt rose by $800 billion in March. That is roughly doubled in the last 15 years. What? So now I start to ask myself this question. Why are we giving so much money away? Like, what? Listen, how much more money is we going to give Ukraine? I'm not mad at them. I'm all about, I'm anti-bullying, right? Like, don't bully the people. But, yo, are you helping other countries at the cost of not protecting us? Because we know that Ukraine can't protect themselves. They damn sure ain't going to be able to protect us. And do we go back to them and say, give me our money back? Are we Indian givers? Do we go back and say, give me the guns back? They done bust them already. We can't. What do we do? I just want the country to put the people first. That's all. The same people that you said that land of the free, home of the brave, all that good stuff that y'all wrote in the thing, all the stuff y'all wrote in there, like I need y'all to like double down, go read it again and say, yo, these are the ones that we not really abiding by. All right, let's go a little further. This says what? In 2022, the U.S. spent more money on Social Security, I'm a citizen. 1.24 billion was spent on Social Security and 900 billion on healthcare. They put us in a position here, y'all. They putting us in a bind. Goddamn it.
I'm in a bind.
Toodie, turn me up. I know they hearing it on the thing. Why my thing? I need to hear. I'm in a bind, Nate. I need to hear it. Let's go further. Huh? Hey, this up.
I'm in a bind, Nate.
It may be on up.
Some other time.
All right, so let's go next. So here's one that's important. Watch this.
Whoa. Really need this.
There you go. There she go. There go my girl. There go my girl.
I'm in a bind.
There you go. There we go. There we go. Get the kinks out. Partner. He went to New Orleans this week, y'all. He probably still got a second line in him. Got a little seafood in him. He ain't got it out of him yet. He probably went home, got him a daiquiri. He went home. Yeah. Probably with the Cajuns. You know what I'm saying? So he got a little something in it. All right, so watch this. The United States is not, and I'm not saying this to scare us, y'all, but I'm saying this because I need us to see, I don't want the news to blind us. I want the information to be apparent. And I think one of the things that make me a great investor, one of the things that will make you a great investor is understanding basic economics, right? It's understanding the little subtleties that America does here and there that affects you. And every time America does something in the game, it affects your investment, but it can either do one or two things. It can show you where to go at, or it can show you where to stay away from. For me, I use both. So, watch this. America right now has $68 billion in cash. There's people in America that have $68 billion. Let that sit in. America as a country has $68 billion in cash. There's a man in the world that's worth $200 and something billion. He's from, the other country. There's two people at the top that are worth $100 and something billion. How is it that an individual can have more money than the country as a whole? Let that sit in. And we're not talking about like Taiwan or like, Mexico. We're talking about the whole country. We're not talking about like a little country like Guatemala, a small little spot like Haiti. We're not talking about something. We talking about America. We talking about America. 400 billion people. We talk about America. Some of the greatest businesses in the world. Apple, Amazon. We talk about America. How the hell the country only got $68 billion in cash and we are spending $1.3 billion a day on service and the debt? That means we only got 60 days worth of money. We running out of money fast. They cooking our ass right now. That's what they doing. I just want us, how we only got $58 billion in cash? Where the hell my taxes going at? Where the hell my taxes going at? I need to know. Because you just told me from the stats that you not spending money protecting me, so you ain't buying guns no more. And you are trying to increase the debt. So let's go down this little rabbit hole right quick, right? Watch this. There are now companies in America that got more cash than America. So wait. So you telling me, not only are there a couple people that got more money than America, but now you got companies in America that got more money than America. maybe I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Maybe I'm one of the people, you ever seen like the people that watch sports that tell the coach what to do, and you be like, bro, why you don't just do this? And they be like, bro, you ain't never played basketball a day in your life, how you gonna tell the coach what to do? And you be like, bro, it's just not that hard to just, I'm sitting on, I feel like that. I feel like I can really, look, I can run this joint, yo. I can run, and I will not run it like death row. Like we gon', right? We gon' ball out. we gon' ball out. You feel me? We gonna go take over a couple traps. Hey, shut that down, fam. Nothing. We ain't spending nothing over there, right? So look at this. Apple has $202 billion in cash and investments, right? Alphabet, $169 million in cash and billion in cash and investments, right? Microsoft, $132 billion. We talking about cash and investments. So that's cash and money they can grab right quick. Amazon, $86 billion in cash and investments. We talking about General Electric. Janet Yellen, what you talking about? Janet Yellen said we ain't got no money. Janet Yellen keep coming on TV saying we broke. I'm starting to believe her. It ain't that I ain't been believer, but once I saw this, I'm like, yo, like who the hell running this thing? Like, I'm not a believer in Joe Biden. I'm not saying I'm a Republican or Democrat, but I'm not a believer in Trump either. So let me put that out there. I think both of them are clowns. Somebody needs to have some type of, I don't know, man. Is common sense not a thing? It's just common sense. So I want us to look at that. The country as a whole has $68 billion in cash. As a country. I'm not gonna beat on that too long. Hey, yo, let's get the likes up in the chat right quick. Jose, we got 2,500 people in the chat, man. That's pretty good, man. We only what? We not even an hour in. That ain't bad. I like that. I don't know, man. Don't play on me like that. Don't play on me like that, dog. Talking about what slide we on. That's why I don't like them dudes, man. All right, man. Let's get the likes up, yo. Let's get at least 1,500 likes, y'all. Let's go. Tamara, I see you. Lauren, I see you. Elvin, I see you. Nola Shia, I see you. Daryl, I see you. Toodie, let's do a favor. Again, you might have him on this. Let's go to the recession portfolio right quick before we get to this debt talk. Can we do that, Toodie? All right, cool, because the people like to see how much money I'm making. Today I'm losing money. But it's all right. I ain't worse than America, goddammit. Shit, I guess that ain't too bad. I'm doing better than them. And percentile-wise, you give me 58 million. I ain't gonna lie. I love y'all, but hey, Trappin Tuesday shut down officially. 58 billion, yo. I'm good. I'm here sleep. Get somebody else to do it. Get somebody else to do it. All right, so let's talk about the recession portfolio. Man, today they took $9,000 from me, man. I don't like it. Nvidia, we still up 19,000. I'm not gonna lie. Tesla, we up 10,000. Nvidia, we up 19,000. The SMH contract, I'm gonna talk about that. If you're in a Patreon, if you joined the Patreon group last week, you made more money in a week on an investment than you probably ever made on an investment. I'm not gonna say more than your life because I don't know how much money people made, but I know in the Patreon last week, I put these plays in, and the next day, dude was like, yo, I made 13 bands just off this one play, Trap. My cousin mad at me because I didn't put him in the Patreon. But I say, bro, why you can't pay for it? Am I wrong? I'm wrong? I say, bro, pay for it. I say, bro, you know why? I say, bro, you got new sneaks on all the time. That costs more than $79 or $49, bro. He like, man, you tripping. I said, no, I ain't. You gonna make the $13,000 or you go buy the tennis shoes. The choice is yours. It don't matter, right? Tough love. Don't be afraid to give them tough love sometimes. Sometimes they got to miss out to know what they need to gain. You feel me? Tough love. How you feel?
I feel good.
All right, good. Did you join yet? All right, so last week we put the NVIDIA play in, and I think, so one dude asked me, he said, Trap, why do you put the NVIDIA play in? I said, listen, I saw it. I was in at 255. I saw it go to 286, so that made me mad. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, damn, I missed that $15. It was 285 and it went up to like 260, 255 and went up. I'm like, damn, I missed that money. So when I saw it run up that much, it ran all the way up to 291. I said, all right, it has to run out of steam at some point. It ran out of steam. It came all the way down to 283. I got in the group. I said, yo, here's the play. I put the play in, and it went down to 278. And so one of my guys, Vault from New Orleans, he said, Trap, I missed it at 283. I think I could get in at 279. I say, bro, that's the same play, get it. He got it, and in 2 days, he was like, bro, this better than dope game. I said, why you think I've been here so long? I would never sell nothing else like that a day in my life. Them people tricked me. Shout out to who? What Chris did. Why am I shouting him out? 1,500 and what? He paid for the Patreon. 1,500 in 4 days. People hit me up and go like, bro, I paid for the Patreon. I'm straight. One dude hit me up and said, Trap, I got my money. I'm going. I said, boy, you stingy mug. I said, boy, that's cold-blooded. You know what I mean? I don't want to say what I was told with the track, but I said, ninjas for you, boy. He made the money. I'm going, Trap. I said, you ain't right, dog. I said, I'm banning you. Don't you ever come back. But, you know, that's the part of the Patreon group, man. You know, but I had to tell them, you know, they got spoiled. Because one day, so look, I'm going to tell you a quick joke right quick. So I went, Trappin' Tuesday that week, it drained me a little bit. Because sometimes I just get in me. And so I was tired, so I went and got an IV. So I went and got the IV, I went and got into the cryo chamber, and so I came back the next day and I put SMH, that's what I put. I put SMH, I put Tesla, and I put another one in there. And all of them ran up. The dude told me in the group, boy, Trap, you wheeling and dealing today. You need to get IVs every day. Then they come back 2 days later talking about, Trap, where the plays are? I say, listen, Linda, listen. I don't put plays in here every day because I'm going to be real with y'all. I don't day trade, right? So I do a lot of leap options. We about to drop that course probably in the next week. And I only trade when I see opportunities. And when I see the opportunities, I like to just make money. My guy from Steve Harvey hit me today. And he was like, Trap, I did 40%. I said, shit, that's Steve Harvey money, that dog. You know what I'm saying? He was like, shit, yeah. So, you know, immediately, he's like, Trap, I done hit 50% today. I said, man. So that's the power in this. But even in buy and hold. So let's go to the buy and hold portfolio. I'm pissed off because I was at every time I get to 15%, it always go back down. But y'all see all that red? But I'm all right. So 3 of them turned negative today. In one day, 2 of them turned negative, 2 at the top. I don't know, man. Crocs was doing good for me. I was up $2,000 on Croc, and then I got to go read the report, man. I don't know. Is children not wearing the Crocs anymore? I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's summertime. Toes out. I don't know what the hell going on. But we still up 11%, which we still beating the market by, I think the market is up right now 5%. So we still beating the market. I am 100% a buy and hold investor at heart. I love to buy great companies and move them. The recession portfolio is a challenge for me because this is me being an active manager. And so active managers means I am not just buying and holding. I am buying and I'm adjusting to the market. And I wanted to do this because I believe that you should have a long-term portfolio. Y'all know it, and y'all should have short-term portfolios that take advantage of the market, and then you should have a dividend portfolio, and then you should have a trading portfolio. I think those are the 4 tools that get you where you want to go at in life when it comes to the stock market. You should have a portfolio that only focuses on long-term, where you can buy great companies and you can just let them sit. You ain't got to worry about them. You ain't got to look at them. And then I believe you should have a short-term or mid-term portfolio that truly just takes advantage of whatever the market is rewarding in that given time span. And so that's what the recession portfolio is for me. It is me saying, you know what? I got enough knowledge. I got enough information. Wall Street Trappin, can beat the goddamn market. Last year, the market was in a deep recession. We bust the market up by 17%, and we showed it, right? And I will go on record and say that nobody on Instagram, nobody on social media, and probably only 3% of the portfolio managers last year beat the market. So, trap for president, goddamn it. Trap for president, goddamn it. So because I can't manage money because I have a felony, I just like to, the recession portfolio is my way of managing money. Nope, I'm not managing your money, don't ask me. People like, Trap, I'll give you, nope. Because it's easy for me to look at this and I now realize why Warren Buffett works the way he does with Berkshire. So he has one meeting a year where you can ask him questions. But all the other fund managers, people will pressure you to make moves in the market when they don't understand the vision. And people will say, yo, buy this company, buy that company. Why my money ain't moving? Because people's relationship with money can be different than yours, right? And so because all people know is make money. And I'm not mad at them for making money, but the best thing you can have in the market is patience. And so for me, I have great patience, and making or losing money doesn't excite or scare me. I have more fun just being able to navigate the market. Does that make sense? Like the making money or losing money is more so for the people than it is for me. I like the idea of the repetition. Hey, don't be taking no pictures of that, trying to go use it. I'm playing. Like, bro, Trap got this, dog. What we doing, dog? I'm playing with you, kid. I'm playing with you, kid. I'm playing. But for me, it's more about being able to navigate what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So, all right, Toodie, let's go. So anyway, if you want to join the Patreon, Jose dropping a link right there. Big announcement. Jose, you got the tour links? LaShawn, you giving a link for it? All right, let's give Jose that. Damn, I can't even much make my big announcement yet. I wanted to make it, but I guess I said it. Anyway, hey, we going on tour, man, goddamn it. I'm going to say it, and they'll just put the link in the chat. Zay, what's up, brother? I see you. So we going on tour. The first show is in Atlanta, August the 1st. Shout out to Atlanta. Let's give them a hand of applause. We are doing a 7-city tour, man. This is the first one. I'm not going to lie, man. I'm so excited for this because it's been a long time coming for me. Not just building up the confidence to do it, but because I did it before with Marcus. We did 7 cities in 7 days. But I think this time is being able to do it on my own. Being able to go on tour on my own, without nobody else's name being attached to it, without me having to use nobody else's influence, without me having to ask nobody for money, without me having a big corporate backing, without me going and get sponsors. Is me going in my pocket, and saying, yo, we going on tour, taking the whole team with me. And I know we going to New Orleans, we going to Atlanta, we going to Chicago, we doing LA, we doing Houston. We doing 7 cities, but Atlanta, New York, we definitely going to New York. For some reason, I'm from New Orleans, but New York is my biggest base. I don't know how. I don't know what's going on. I gotta go set up shop in New Orleans a little more, man. But we going on tour, and I'm excited about it, y'all. And so I can't wait to see how many of y'all show up. In my mind, we got 7 sold-out shows. And we gonna push for that. 7 sold-out shows, big events. Yeah, thank y'all for that. And I'm just excited. As you have a vision for whatever you have a vision for, I always say this, that what you don't know is not a reason for you not to do it. I have no idea how to put a tour together. And I have been on LaShawna because she is the brains. I'm just the vision, yeah. She got to put up with me. Trust me, it is not easy to work with Trap. It is not. I know this. Sometimes I can't work with my damn self. But she works with me and she is patient with me. Even when I get on her nerves, I know sometimes she be wanting to punch me. I think yesterday she wanted to punch me. I saw it in her hand. She did I backed up though, I was smart. I was like, ooh. But we going on tour, man. Atlanta, the first stop. We pushing it, and it's gonna be the show. We got so many brilliant aspects and components that we're gonna add to the show. And so I can't wait for y'all to get that and experience that and be a part of that. And I think the tour allows us now to set up trappers all over the world, right? Because what I know about my audience, what I know about my people, what I know about my trappers is, all of y'all be telling other people about me. They'll be like, yo, holla at Trap. Yo, this my guy. He the one. And so what happens, I think, when I come to your city, you're going to be like, yo, this the dude I'll be telling y'all about. You know what I'm saying? So I'm excited about that. All right, Toodie. He already had it up there, goddamn. So that's Toodie Will telling me to hurry the hell up. But I ain't hurrying up, Toodie. All right, so America's debt. The debt default could hurt us for years. So watch this. In 2011, just the idea and just the thought of us defaulting cost America an extra $1 billion a day for every day that they defaulted. But they didn't default, it was just a scare because they came that close to the deadline. Well, right now, here's what I want you to look at. Watch this. If America defaults, we could lose another 3 million jobs. Now, mind you, a default doesn't mean we have to default for years or months. It can be it can be kind of like, prime example, you got a credit card, you late on a payment. You late on a payment, you get the what? Notification, but your credit score drop hard. You're like, damn, boy, it's just $50. How the hell you hit me for 30 points? Well, that's what happened in America. First, you'll pay a penalty for every day that you're late, but also just being late could now affect 3 million jobs. It could affect a worker with a 401k could lose $20,000 in savings. Not to mention that last year alone, the average 401k lost $20,000. So now because America defaults, you could possibly lose another $20,000. Why? Because everything is tied to them in their dollar bill. This is why I'm telling you about you need to have the power. I'm not telling you not to invest in your 401k, but you definitely need to learn how to invest for yourself because your money that's tied up with other people always is tied up, and you never know the back end of what they got tied into that, right? So you don't be knowing all the investments. You don't be knowing all the strings that's tied to that, but you've worked really hard for that money. And the thing about this is, losing that $20,000 last year, it'll take you another 10 years to get that back. Let that sink in. Because so when we looking at 401k returns, the average 401k doesn't beat the market. The few that do beat the market only beat the market by 4% on average. So if you only beat the market by 4% on your 401k, that's the 4% before you have to pay the people to manage your money. That's the 4% before the taxes are taken out. So now that 4% now becomes 2.5, 2.3%. So 2.3% return on your money, you got to make the 20,000 back first. And we already put a sign up. We put the thing up, I think episode 41, where we said what you need to return a certain amount of money. So I think something like an 80% return, you need like a 400% return on the market. When does the S&P ever give us that type of return? So now you need the market to go on one of these extreme bullish years like it did after 08, 09. You need like a 13-year run. I don't know if it's possible to get up another 13-year run with another $31 trillion in debt. This is why I need you to understand that it's so important for you to learn how to manage your own money. Nobody else cares more about your money than you. Not your job, not your bank, not your person who give you life insurance, not your credit card company, not the person who's saying I could turn 100 into 1,000. Nobody don't care more about your money than you. I want you to understand that. So that means you have to now educate yourself a little bit more than what you think you're educated, and you cannot freestyle or guess your way to wealth. All right, let's go a little further. Oh, stay right there, Toodie. New 30-year mortgage could cost an extra $130,000. Let's sit on that. If America defaults, a 30-year mortgage could cost you an extra $130,000. This is not me just making up the information. This is the research and the data. And also a bigger price tag for every item. Why? Because in order for them to pay the debt, they got to go get their money from somewhere. But mind you, they can't print no more money. So if they can't print no more money, who got to pay for that? Us. The same people who we begging them to do the right thing. There's a saying, if you do the same thing over and over and you keep getting a different results, then that's insanity. So are we the American people insane for thinking that the government gonna do the right thing? God damn it, we are. God damn it, we are. All right, let's go a little further, man. How y'all feeling tonight? The fuck? I almost forgot they had children in here. I said, God damn, what the hell? I had to catch myself. Thank you, kids, for being here. Parental advisory. All right, so right here we looking at, this is the debt ceiling. So I want to break this down for y'all, right, how we got into that. So there's a few things, right? So the U.S. debt ceiling was introduced in 1917, right? 1917. Now, don't you look at it. Mind you this. Don't y'all love that screen right there? That is hard, right? That came from China. Damn. It was cheap. It was cheap. America was like 80,000. I said, my ass. I said, come on, China. All right, so let me break this down to y'all right quick so you can see it on the screen. Let me break it down to you. All right, and this came from me just doing my research, figuring out and looking at, I like to find things to break things down so we can see it. I think once we see it, we understand it. Once we understand it, we can then make the proper adjustments or at least have clarity. I think one of the things that hinders us when we're trying to look at the USA Today, and which I look at them all, is the language and them not making it clear for us. And the only way it can become clear for us is we can understand like where some stuff started from. How did they initiate? How did they get started? It's like trying to read a book in the middle of the book. You done missed the first part. Like, why did he do this? Why? I don't know. So let's talk about it. So mind you, the only time America has been a debt-free company was 1885. Andrew Jackson paid all America's debt down. It's the only time we've ever been debt-free as a country. I'm not mad at that because some countries use debt as leverage. Like, that's okay. But let's get into it. So, I want to hit my Starbucks so bad. Y'all mind if I hit it? That shit calling my name. This Starbucks is brought to you by, they're going to give me some ad dollars for this. Jose, we're going to get corporate money. Starbucks. We always talk about Starbucks is the bank that sells coffee. I am a regular depositor. I'm a regular depositor. So, this is a caramel macchiato, oat milk, upside down. It's a grande in a venti cup. So this is brought to you by Starbucks, the bank that sells coffee. Lashana, put that on our list. Them and American Express need to pay us. And who? Apple. Apple need to pay me for sure. Some kind of way they get on my list every week. This week they on the list because they done did. Bro, that's an Apple stock did keep the poverty away, man. God dang, man. All right, so let's get into it. So 1970, the U.S. debt ceiling was first introduced because they realized that the people that ran America like to print money. It's simple, right? So even in 1970, they were already 30% of GDP, right? So that's okay. 35% of GDP is good. It's not bad. We still got 65, we still making 65% more money than we got debt. Does that make sense? Let me do my math right. 65, 35, 100. Yep, cool. All right, next. What it say? A decline in stock markets causes a loss on investor confidence. It's just giving us a breakdown. But then in 1980, we saw it going up a little bit more. But in 1980, we actually decreased the debt that we had as a country, right? 1980 is a product of Reagan. Why? Children, close your ears. America sold a whole bunch of dope in that time. A lot of dope got sold in 1980. Between 80 and 90, a whole bunch of drugs came into America. This, believe it or not, watch this. Cities like Miami in California were funded by cocaine money. And New York. But Miami for sure. They were funded by cocaine. All right, kids, open your ears back up. I didn't want to introduce nobody to that. All right, so watch this. In 1990, the war on drugs wasn't as prominent as it was anymore. Different things started happening. 2000 dot-com bubble happens, right? Dot-com bubble happens. Once the dot-com bubble happens, America has more debt than it's ever had. At 56% debt is then 56% of GDP, meaning of the money we bring in. Always remember that. Gross domestic product, right? Import, export. You selling stuff, goods, and goods are coming back to us. So we know that, right? 2010, we just get crazy. You know why? Because here's what people do when most people make bad decisions. Instead of correcting the decision, what do? Double down on it. That's what America did. They realized, you know what? Fix it for what? We gotta reconstruct. Just had a financial crisis. There's no need to stop spending money. So what happens? 2010 represented the swing of the bull market. We come after the financial crash in 2008, Lehman Brothers. From 2010 to 2020, America gets into growth mode. America gets into growth mode. You start seeing high-flying companies come out of nowhere. I'm talking about running up. Look at this, debt ceiling. It just starts to runs. It starts to go up. But I want you to notice something. This is the money coming in when we look in here, and then this is the ceiling. But when you get here, look how we is on the ceiling. You feel me? 2010, we get here. Look at these years. We on top of the damn thing. So I want us to pay attention to that. But this is just a look. So watch this. The financial crisis leads to a significant increase in government debt. This happens in 2010. 2010 is the S&P downgraded the government's credit rating from AAA to AA+. I want you to understand something too. America also has a credit rating because they got to borrow their money. They got downgraded. They almost missed the payment. So guess what happened? Just like they be hitting our credit score, their credit score got hit. Remember I told y'all 2011 we was faced with the same situation we faced with now. The data gonna always show. That's why I tell y'all make investments based on data instead of emotion. Just go look at the history of America. 2013 and 2020, the debt limit was suspended for long periods of time. Why did they suspend? Because they realized we in trouble. America is a country that will make the rules as they go. This don't benefit us right now. Suspend it. And then here we are in 2023, $31.4 trillion, and we are faced with the same situation. So I wanted to paint that picture for you. Let's go a little further to it. All right, so again, this is courtesy of the Wall Street Journal right here because I read that every day. Projected overall spending and expenditures from June 1st to June 30th. So here's what we're looking at right now. Because the debt ceiling, the date is June 1st, here's the money that is expected to be spent right? $126 billion in 1 month on Medicare. I keep telling people this, and people keep arguing with me. And it's not that they arguing wrong or bad. I'd rather you have a conversation with me based on data than emotion. Because I'm always come to you with a dialogue based on data because my emotion is out of it. By 2035, the government is expected to cut back on Social Security and Medicaid. By 2035. The reason being is because Social Security and Medicare make up the most debt that the country has. It's the biggest payments they got to pay. They cannot cut it completely because it's written in the Constitution where they got to take care of it. Right? It's in the Constitution that they have to pay Social Security. It's in the Constitution that they have to pay for Medicaid and Medicare. It's in the Constitution. They will pay it, but there's nothing in the Constitution that says I cannot cut it. Especially if it's for the betterment of the country. Damn, they sure know how to make it fit them, huh? So, watch this. In 1 month, America is going to spend $126 billion on Medicare, $52 billion on Medicaid, and $101 billion on Social Security payments. That's it. That's put us at about what? Maybe 270, maybe 8, something like that. Something up in there. Something like that. Y'all got it. That puts us in $1 billion in 1 month. In 1 month. That's not counting. Let's go look. That's not even counting the $33 billion in military defense, the $27 billion in Department of Health Service, that's $25 billion in veteran benefits, that's $11 billion in military retirement, because we got to take care of the people that serve the country. We got to take care of them, which we're doing a horrible job at. We're doing a horrible job at taking care of the people that put their life on the line for us. You feel what I'm saying? We're doing a horrible job at that. I don't understand why we got people who took care of the country and they homeless. Yo, the people fought for us. Well, at least we could take care of them. Them and teachers, goddamn, can we at least take care of them? But we're not doing that for some reason. But for some kind of reason, we find a way to give CEOs hundreds of billions of dollars for running companies. That makes sense to me. I don't know. All right. Federal salaries, Education, Department of Education, $21 billion. Interest of public debt, $14 billion. This is the public debt. So we are individual tax refunds and returns, Department of Federal Affairs. So this is what our monthly expenses will look like in just the month of June. Revenue bring in $495 billion. Expenditures is money they can spend allocating certain ways. That's $622 billion. Boy, y'all on my mind right now, boy. Y'all been watching the goddamn show. I don't even want to play it no more, yeah?
Oh, I'm broke, baby. I ain't got no money.
Bullshit. They got children to help. Mr. Clean Bird Jose, good job, man.
Oh, I'm broke, baby. I ain't got no money.
I can see it shining.
I can smell it. With money.
There we go, Jose. Come on, Jose. Let's clap it up for Jose. Let's clap it up for Jose. I can smell it with money. Let's clap. Hey, we got it. One thing Jose gonna do is make sure we get monetized. Jose is all about monetization. Shout out to Jose for that. And I hope y'all now get a picture on how America is spending money, how America is using money, but also what we looking at. And I don't want to say it's scary, but it is. It's scary because there's so many people that have no idea what's going on. And the worst thing you can, to me, in my mind, is when you don't have, I don't want to say, when you are ignorant. No, when you are naive, better word. When you're naive to something, you have no idea of what's going on, and it makes you move different. And I truly believe that now is the time that we should truly not be wasting our money. I promise y'all, this is the time that we should not be wasting our money. This is the time where I need everybody to be conscious of your money behaviors. Yo, like I know you won't get the bag. I know you won't get the shoes. I know you won't take the trip. I know you won't, impulsive spend sometime. We all do it. But at least for the rest of this year, I just want you to be financially conscious. You feel me? Like, I just want you to be financially listen, I got my whole crib. I ain't even gonna lie. I told everybody to get out. Man, don't you fix nothing else in this crib, man. Get out. I'm not putting no more furniture in here. I'm not doing nothing until 2025. Am I lying? Cuz them people is out of there. I said, man, get out of my house. Don't put my business in the street. I love you, bro. But it's because I realized, yo, this is the money I'm putting into renovating the house. Yo, now is not the time. And I know I'm in a financially straight space, but what happens is, instead of me paying them, that's money I could be used to invest. I'm okay with that. Yo, who am I trying to impress? It's just me and my daughter. Go get in the pool. You all right? You know what I'm saying? Come sleep. You sleep with me anyway. You get yo in my house. They just be echoing. But I'm okay with that. I'm not trying to impress nobody. I truly think this, and I feel it. I've been saying it for some time, y'all. And maybe because it doesn't happen right in the moment, we not feeling it because it ain't happening right now. But very seldom does something happen in the moment. Like it's a gradual upbuild and then it's a collapse, right? It's this going, and the market, it always gives us signs. You know what I'm saying? It gives us but because we're not aware of the signs, we're like, oh, that's just the stock market. Oh, that's this. No, that's the signs. That's the symptoms. That's the symptoms of a bigger issue. Because you got a runny nose, that's not the issue. There's inflammation somewhere that we got to adjust. There's cold, there's flame somewhere in there that there's a deeper issue that's causing the snotty nose. We just see the snotty nose, that's a symptom of something wrong within. These are symptoms, y'all. And we got to be able to adjust and recognize them and say, oh, that's why I like to use older dates. So you can go back and say, oh, this happened in 85. Oh, this happened in 99. Oh, this happened in 2001. Damn, if I go back and look at 2008, this kind of the same stuff that's going on. Banks failing, housing. Yo, this the same stuff. Let me prepare for it. Am I making sense? Am I making sense? Yeah. There we go. Yeah. Goddamn buttons be broke sometimes. All right, let's go a little further. 2 days. All right, so here's the last, I'm gonna get off this because I just think it's important for us to see it. Here is the government's budget all the way. Again, $2.3 trillion in income tax, Social Security. Y'all can take a picture of that. Again, Social Security, $1.2 trillion, health, 0.9, income security, total federal spending and revenue, total federal revenue, $4.9 trillion, total, look at this crazy. Make this make sense. Look at this. Total federal revenue, meaning the money they brought in, $4.9 trillion. Total federal spending, $6.2 trillion. Don't make sense to me. I just need to know why Equifax and Experian, why they own me so hard and they ain't on the federal government the same way they own me. That's what I need to know. Why they own me so hard? Like, they're the one. I got a couple $100. They got trillions. They more of a threat to default than me. I can DoorDash or something. All right, let's go a little further, man. All right, man. Let's go a little further. 2 days. What we got here? All right, so credit card rates are now at record highs. Credit card rates are at the record highs because as people run out of physical cash to spend, they swipe. There's no emotion in swiping. There's more emotion in pulling the cash out of your wallet and spending it than swiping it. But what we have to realize too is in that swipe, there's also money that has to be paid. So Toodie, I want to do this. Go to the next slide. Stop right there. Go to the JP Morgan Chase one, Toodie. because I want to show y'all something. Boom. I'm going to skip this and I'm going to come back to what I just had. Good job, Toodie. And I'm going to show you why this is important. Because there's people that always position themselves properly in these environments. And I said something maybe 2 months, when the first bank crashed, I said, JP Morgan Chase is going to dominate right here. They're going to be the winner. I said it. Not even worrying about the stock price. I just understood the business as a whole was going to be a winner. Because great companies and great investors do the same thing. I'm going to be real with y'all. There's no secret sauce to investing. There's no secret sauce to building wealth. Save more than you spend. Invest more than you save. Done deal. Rinse and repeat. That's the secret sauce. Buy assets on discount. Be as liquid as you can so you can buy assets when they go on sale. That's the sauce. I don't care if it's real estate. I don't care if it's stocks. I don't care if you're buying real physical businesses. That's the secret sauce. So watch this. JP Morgan said its net interest income increased by $3 billion this year due to the purchase of First Republic Bank. Let's just stop right there. First Republic Bank crashed. Everybody bid for it. JP Morgan had more money than everybody. They say, yo, give it to me. They gave it to them minus the debt, so they bought all the assets that the company had at a cheap, cheap price. But watch this. Let's go a little further. Go to the next slide to that, Toodie. All right, y'all, I want y'all to see this. This is important right here. So JP Morgan now they make more, so these are the investment banks at the bottom, right? First of all, they make more revenue from every Wall Street bank now just based on wealth management, right? So let's put that first. They make more money than any, so JP Morgan is not a sole pure wealth firm. They are the biggest bank in America, but they're not a pure wealth firm. Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs is. They now make more money than them. Second of all, let's go a little further to it. I want you to see this. Look at this, y'all. And I'm going to go back to the credit card debt. I did that because I want you to see this screen right here. 21% of all credit card spending is paid to JP Morgan now. Y'all see what I did there? Which makes them the biggest credit card collector in America now. Wealth is about positioning yourself. You build your company when you position it. You build your family when you position it. You build your wealth when you position it. You can position it when you've seen the same thing happen over and over again. Yo, history might not repeat itself, but it rhymes. These things are familiar. Watch this. Show you how smart you are. When a new pair of J's drop, what happened? This ain't new. When a new iPhone drop, what happened? We know the line gonna be around the corner. Positioning. So what did they do? They bought the bank, they bought all the assets. But guess what? Because all the bank credit cards and the debit cards are attached to who? Visa. Visa is the most used credit card in America. Guess what? Holla at your boy. Now they got all of those. So now JP Morgan is responsible now for collecting 21% of all credit cards. They're responsible for that. Positioning. Watch this. Let's go a little further. JP Morgan now has, go back to it, go back. JP Morgan now collects 13% of the nation's deposits. That means 13% of, so mind you, first of all, there's all kind of banks in the world. In America, we're gonna talk about America. They now collect 13% of all bank deposits are now with JP Morgan Chase, which makes them the biggest bank as far as from a deposit component. $5,000 locations, they just increased 93 more new locations. I want you to understand like what this bank is doing. And watch this. The small banks are where you get your home loans from, your car loans from. JP Morgan is not number one in none of those. They not number one in that. They not number one at loaning you money. They not number one at, they're sold, they deal most with businesses. But guess what? As the country defaults or get close to it, there's more banks that are going to do what? There's more banks that's going to collapse. Because now what happens is the longer we don't get something done, there's more banks now, that's how we talked about it last week, to apartments and commercial real estate. Guess what? They defaulting. Guess who's going to come buy them too? So I just want us to understand that we got to prepare for what's happening the same way they preparing for what's happening. All right, so let's go a little further. Damn, that was good. Goddamn. All right, man, the Escalade is now dropping. Cadillac is now, GM is dropping another vehicle to their electric truck thing, electric car, EV, and now they are dropping the Electric Escalade. All electric version of the Escalade is called the Escalade IQ. Now, as the EV market expands, I truly believe that I'm interested to see what happens when Tesla drops the truck. I want to see, because as of right now, they have the crossover. They already told us that the Model Y has now, first, believe it or not, the F-150 was the most selling car in America. Truck, the F-150, Ford F-150. It's the most selling car in America. The Model Y from Tesla has now repositioned that. I'm like, all right, cool. I want to see now what happens when the Tesla truck drops. I want to see now how does that affect the trucking market, because I believe if this guy can truly dominate the trucking market the way he dominated the car market, we are now looking at something that can make him one of the most powerful people in America. He already is, but he's kind of, people look at him crazy right now because he be doing too much. But one of the things he did was, watch how he positioned himself. He understood that he needed to step down from Twitter. So he put somebody else in the place of Twitter so he can truly focus on the growth of this company. And I truly think that's going to position him and that company not just to be the most dominant electric vehicle company, but to truly be the most dominant car company. Just like Netflix, watch this, just like Netflix and streaming, companies are realizing now that to create these EV companies are not easy. Companies are realizing now that just like Ford and Hyundai both last month scrapped the whole vehicle. They were like, you know what, we can't do this. They took it off the list, like, yo, this is too much. It's not as easy just to create a vehicle. Now you got to think about the battery. Now you got to think about the chip that causes. Now you got to think about the EV stations. All of that has to come in play. You can't just say, yo, I'm going to create an EV company or I'm going to create a car. So one of the things Tesla also said was, look, by 2024, we are now going to put out 18 more locations that allow other EV companies to use our stations. So he's trying to monopolize the market. So I'm not mad at him for that. Then you got companies like ChargePoint who are trying to come up with something because they got the most, ChargePoint and Plug Power. One has the most biggest network and one has the biggest stations. But now when Tesla stepped in there, now you put them.
I'm in a bind, Nate.
Because what happens is if more people are buying Teslas, a Tesla person is not going to want to just go to that. They're going to want to go to what? A Tesla charge point. So now we ask ourselves this question: how is Elon now positioning himself to be the most dominant car company and tech company in the world? God damn. I went on a rant. That was so cold-blooded. I don't even know if y'all caught that triple-double just now. All right, stop. All right, let's go a little further. Today. All right, so we just talked about this, man. I briefly stepped on it earlier. Buying a house in the U.S. is 46% more expensive now than renting. Putting down 20% for the down payment. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be like that for the long haul, but I am saying this is a moment. We're in a moment in time where people have to ask themselves, and I hope none of my realtor friends get mad at me. I'm not here to hate on what you're doing at all. I love you. I love all of y'all. I'm just saying right now, we now as Americans have to ask ourselves a question. Do I need to buy a house in this market? I'm not here to tell you yes or no. I'm just here to show you the data. And right now, a house is 46% more than renting, with 20% down. And I don't know if that's going to decrease within the next year. Let me say that. So, and I ain't even gonna lie, I remember when I bought my house, I'm a good negotiator. That man ain't won't budge. I was like, put a price out, that boy like, nope. I was like, what? Put another price out, that boy was like, nope. I was like, yo, this dude is stubborn. And so when I asked my realtor, she was like, a lot of sellers are just like that because they know right now they can get top dollar. And so they don't gotta negotiate. So because they're getting top dollar and houses are, listen, the houses are expensive, but because we are in, what was the theme from the beginning? What happens when a new truth combines and collides with an old belief? Which one advances you? I'm gonna be real with you. I'm keeping 100% real. I'm glad I bought my crib, but the money, I'm like, bruh, I could have been like 8 times. God damn, if I'd have just held out for a little bit. But I want, you know how we get, I want what I want. Y'all know how I want what I want. A new truth that collides with an old belief. Which one advances you? So again, I'm not saying don't buy a house, but what I am telling you is this. Right now, it is 46% more expensive. Let's go a little further. All right, watch this. Here's how much the median mortgage payment is. I be doing research for y'all, yo. I'm not gonna lie, because I don't think people believe me. So I be having to like, you know. Watch this. San Jose, California. So hold up. Here's how much higher the median rent mortgage payment is than the monthly rent by city. San Jose, California, the mortgage is 176% higher than the rent. Now I saw the queen catch a breath. She was like, ooh. Think about that. Like in 2019, you paying for your thing, and then 2023, it's 176. You like, wait, what? San Francisco, which is one of the most expensive places in America, 123%. Boulder, Colorado, that's where Dion at right now, 104%. Salt Lake City, Utah, 93%. Los Angeles, 85%. Dallas, Texas, I see why all them people in the Potter's house right now. 47%. Boston, we just talked about Boston. We just talked about Boston. We just talked about Boston last week. Chap, you don't know what you're talking about. It's about the people ain't got no money. They think I'm talking about Roxbury. That's the only part they're looking at. And New York, 29%. And again, in 80% of metropolitan America, the rent is that much higher. I mean, the home ownership is that much higher than rent. My question to you is, are you willing, again, let me say this again to all my realtor friends, I'm not taking a shot at your business. Because they will tell me like, man, why would you tell the people that? All the people live in Trappin Tuesday. I'm not taking a shot at your business, but what I'm saying is, do you need it within the next year? That's all I'm asking. Do you need it? Because the wealth game is just as much, watch this, y'all. Playing a game of wealth is just as much about buying the assets as it is buying the assets at the right time. That's a hallelujah in the church. You feel what I'm saying? It's just as important to buy the stocks at the right price than it is buying an actual stock, buying an actual company. Buying a house at the right time, it just makes more sense. And I will say this, now I am taking a shot at the realtors on this one. Don't get caught when the realtor tell you the housing market is gonna keep going up. Everything in America goes in cycles. Everything in America moves in cycles. If you are patient enough to withstand a cycle, you are patient enough to play the game. All right, let's go a little further. All right, so let's get some numbers right quick. Median mortgage payment, $2,800. Median rent, $1,850. Now this in overall. You're talking about in totality. It now costs nearly $1,000 a month more to buy a house than it is to pay rent. Meanwhile, the average new car payment is now $750 monthly. Damn, that's crazy. The average interest rate on a used car loan just hit a record of 14%. All while credit card debt is set to cross $1 trillion for the first time ever with a record interest rates of 25%. Basic necessities are now unaffordable amongst Americans. Let's go back to what we said in the beginning. America, Joe Biden, McCarthy, Janet Yellen. Yo, can we do the right thing for the people here? Democrats, y'all want to just increase the debt ceiling. Republicans, y'all want to cut prices before you increase. I'm not saying what's right or wrong. I'm just saying this don't make no sense. This don't make no sense. When the American dream that you told us was always to buy a house, how can you now make it almost $1,000 more to buy a house than to pay rent? Now that don't seem too much right to me. The average car payment is $750. Watch this. Maybe on episode 32, what would we say? We said 76% of Americans are at least 2 car notes behind. The American people are now suffering for that $8 trillion that got pumped into the economy during the pandemic. So I ask you this question. Was that money free now? Was that money free? It's costing us a whole hell of a lot now. And this is one of my favorite sayings. There is no middle. The people at the bottom always feel it the most. The people at the bottom will always feel it the most. All right, let's go a little further. Today. All right, so let's go. Oh, phone call time. I like a good phone call. Let's go, man. Hit me up. Mind y'all, I don't be knowing what these people gonna ask.
What's going on, King? Peace, Trap. Thank you for everything that you do, man. My name is Osama J. My question is, I got 31 shares of Disney at a cost basis of $176, right? As you know, the stock is being completely pummeled. I lost like 47% of my initial investment. My question is, should I continue to dollar cost average, bring that cost basis down, or should I flush it? Let me know, man. I appreciate everything that you're doing. Peace. Say peace. Say thank you.
First of all, don't come on here with that cute ass baby like that, playing on my emotions like that. I damn want to give you some money for her right now, goddamn it. First of all, I want to say that I don't know what the hell is going on in Florida right now. Like, the people just put out a warning for people not to go to Florida. The man just cost I don't be understanding these people sometimes. And the people who cool with them that let them make these decisions, right? Like, because if I don't make a decision, I'm expecting LaShawna and Jose, like, I'm bringing to the table. Like, one thing I'll say as a business that we running, like, I don't live by it's my business. I say what I want. I operate at a collective because people's jobs and people's livelihood is affected by my decisions. So anything that's going to bankrupt the business, I would hope they got the right mind to tell me, children cover your ears, nigga, you're tripping. You feel me? So, this dude in Florida, first of all, Orlando to be specific, this guy is picking a battle with Disney. Now, let's just first start here. Bruh, Disney is accountable for at least 35 to 40% of the revenue And there is no Orlando without Disney. Let's just start there. There is no Orlando without Disney. As soon as you come to the airport, welcome to, they should just call the city Disney. Welcome to the city of Disney, bruh. You feel me? Because after they say, welcome to Orlando, the city, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Of course, Disney World, the first thing come to our mind, we come there for Disney. But first of all, second of all, there are so many businesses that get money as a byproduct of Disney, right? There's other little theme parks you be like, bro, it's too crowded in Disney. I'm going to just go here today and go tomorrow. I did it. Feel me? There's all the water slides. So first of all, why is you arguing with Disney? Let's just start right there. Why is you threatening these people? Why? What is on your mind? So first Disney said, all right, you want to play them games? Check this out. The first thing Disney did was, so mind you, Disney had, the people bought, I can't even remember how many acres of land. First of all, Disney is on an island by itself. Just start there. You got to get a train to get there. All right, so the people went and bought like 100 and some acres of land, 200 acres of land. Let's just start there. How much? 200, like 240 acres of land. They went and bought it. Like, they not just buying the land to sit the land there. They about to build some other ride that they done made a movie for to make us spend more money with our children because we don't want to spend the money, but when your children go there, they won't buy that. And the hot dog costs $80 in Disney. But you can't tell them no because they got Frozen girls on the front of it. To start right there. So the people buy 244 acres of land. Before they even drive a pile, they get 3,000 people to move to Florida. Let's just start right there. The people buy, I gotta write it down so I can make sense of it. The people buy, first of all, they bought the land. I know you taxed them for the land because it's Disney. But they wasn't tripping. So they bought the land, and then they literally moved 2,000 people to Florida to work there. And then we're going to talk about the economics around once Disney gets moving. So because you come to Disney trying to make them whatever the man say, all right, this is the game you want to play? Check this out. I'm not even opening it anymore. That immediately cost Orlando $1 billion. Let's just start right there. That right there should have meant somebody should have told him, hey, man, abort that mission. That ain't what he need to be doing. You just cost us, bro, if that cost us $1 billion, bro, you gonna get some money off that. Chill. You messing with your pocket right now. Like they say in the hood, you messing with the church money right now, man. You tripping right now, right? What are you doing? So not only did you do that $1 billion you cost, but then the man says, you know what? I'm about to move all my people. I'm going to pay to get them relocated back where they came from. So now we just talked about rent and home ownership. Now you just hurt the landlords. I'm going to get to the call. Leave me alone, Toodie. Push them damn buttons. We talking about Florida right here. And what is wrong with this man? So you cost the city of Orlando $1 billion. Just for that, 2,000 more people gonna move. And who knows else what Disney can do? What if they said, you know what? We're going to just shut the theme parks down. Now, some people may say, well, Trap, they're not going to do that. Listen, sometimes in business, you will be willing to take a loss to prove somebody. I'll shut my business down to bankrupt this whole goddamn city. Because that's what happens if Disney shut down. It bankrupts the city of Orlando. So so women have a strong voice to men. That dude's wife needs to talk to him. She just needs to have a conversation. Like, baby, this is my vacation money you messing with. All right, back to the king. Damn, that was a good rant. All right, so $147 was his base price. Yes, my brother, you have taken a beating on that. What I will say, my advice would be, I do think that Bob Iger is brilliant. He is already, this fight alone, he is taking this way different than the other dude would have did. So I think that Bob will 100% find a way to make this make sense. I do think you should average down in Disney, because I think now it's $90-something, if I'm not mistaken. Buy enough to bring, I think you should get your cost basis down to at least $110. Get your average down to, get your cost basis down to $110. Once you get it to $110, leave it alone and don't look at it no more. Because it's gonna take you at least a couple years to get, so now you're not waiting to get to 147, you waiting to get at 110. 110 is easier to reach than 147 in that range. But I think you're gonna have a hard time because Disney is realizing that streaming was only a pandemic business for them. They're realizing that Netflix is really the big dog and that they should not be in that game. They're realizing that what Netflix is doing, sometimes, now this is a human component, don't always look at what somebody else doing and think you need to go do that. Just because they making money. Because what Disney is realizing now is, while they had a lot of subscribers, Netflix said, who's more profitable? And they didn't say who's most profitable until they turned a profit. Before then, it was about subscribers. Once they turned profitable, they said, who making the most money? And then Disney and Paramount and everybody else said, shit, I ain't making no money. Everybody losing money. The reason why Amazon not gonna fall in that, because Amazon is cash rich in other areas of their business. Disney is not cash rich on the theme park part of their business. They not. The fundamentals ain't the best. They only pay the dividend twice a year. So I'm not gonna tell you to flush it because I think it's not a great company, but with Bob in play, I think they can do some things. I think you average it down to 110 and then you just sit on it. That's my answer to that. That's my answer to that. Next.
Peace. This is Aisha, Carolina Trapper.
Come on,
First
Trapper.
and foremost, want to shout out all my Carolina Trappers. I ain't been representing correctly, so shout out to y'all. Y'all know what it is. But my question for today is, as I've been in the Patreon, recently got into my first option. Thank you for that. And so just thinking about what are some of the hurdles that will come up along this journey. So wanted to know what was one of the biggest hurdles that you had to overcome during your investment career, and how did you overcome it? Appreciate
that's
your
good.
response.
First of all, let's give the queen a round of applause for that lavender she got on. You hear me? You hear me? I'm out here lavender. I feel calm just listening to you. That'd be Bob Proctor. Feel the lavender energy. If y'all didn't never listen to Bob, Bob would throw that lavender word out there on you. One of the biggest things for me that I had to overcome was realistically listening to the noise. Listening to the noise, listening to people, and not saying listening to them because I didn't have the information, but letting what they saying confuse me from my information, if that makes sense. So we'll do the homework, we'll have the homework, but because you're not 100% sure of your homework, now you listening to the people, which you're trying to listen to the sources, and you're trying to read, and and now what happens is their noise has now influenced you to do something other than what your information told you to do. So I think the biggest thing for me, and I'm just being real with you, like maybe the last 2 years now, I've been I'm solid, because this recession was the first one I ever been in. So it's easy to have the information and you looking at the information, you're looking at the TV, and the TV is rewarding the information because we're in the 11-year bull market. You know what I'm saying? So it's easy to be like, yep, I'm right. But this since the pandemic, I've realized I'm not even listening to them people because the research is gonna tell me, and that's how I have gotten majority of my winners is listening to them with a grain of salt. Like listening to them, seeing what they saying, but then taking, one of the things I do in my house, there's like, in my room, there's like 5 notebooks that I have. And I'll take notes and put a star by it and then go just to hear what they saying, and then I'll go research what they saying. And if it doesn't line up, I still want to hear it, but not let what they saying dictate what I'm doing, right? Because everybody on there isn't just talking out the side of their neck. Like I'll listen to Josh Brown because Josh has an interesting perspective. But that don't mean I'm about to make a move because he'll admit when he wrong. Nobody is batting 100 in the market. You know what I'm saying? That's why I show my losers. But you find people that know what they talking about, you know, and I'll listen to what they talking about just so I can see what their perspective is, because their perspective may be one that I didn't take into consideration. You know what I'm saying? So being able to make moves not based on the noise, but listening to it, so really not letting other people's opinion noise dictate what I do. So that's what I would say, Queen. Jose, let's drop the Trapper apparel link, because I see people saying, yo, we need the apparel and we need the world to be wearing this. Shout out to all y'all that got it on too, man, that's for sure. Damn, that's cold-blooded. Y'all ain't noticed George was real hype about that, because that's his job. You know, he got to hold that down. So he like, yo, put the apparel on, bro. All right, let's go a little further too. We got more.
What up, bro? Tesla. I missed the options play you put in on the Patreon from Tesla, by the way. But Tesla been surging. I currently already own Tesla. I've been kind of waiting for it to dip a little so I could buy in and try to keep my cost base, not raise my cost base too much. Basically, what I'm asking is,
should I buy both?
Just buy more of the stock anyway, or do I wait for another option play to put in? Because if I was to buy a lot of shares of Tesla right now, it'll bring my cost base up, which in turn would take profits away. So I'm just kind of in like a little bind, dealing with that. Appreciate you, bro.
Hey.
I'm in a bind, Nate.
Hey, my man Trap, tell me what to do, you know what I mean? Boy, you dressed that up good, mama. Boy, he dressed that thing up good. Like, man, I won't really bring my cost basis up, but I won't get the option play. But I'm in a bind, Trap. Hey, that was good, man. Man, that was good, bro. I love this. Oh, shout out to Jose for picking that one. I don't know how you got that one. He found that one. What I would say to you is, brother, so let's ask ourselves this question. First, how many Tesla shares do we want to hold? Do we want to own? That's first. Because I don't want you to get so stuck on not increasing the cost basis if there's an opportunity to buy more. I'll give you an example. I bought Chipotle at $4.25. It shot up to $1,900. But then, from the time it hit $1,900, it came back down to $1,100. I should have bought more at $1,100, because then during the time from it hit its bottom of $1,100, it went up to $2,100. But if I buy at $1,100, I bring my cost basis way up. You feel me? But I also, because I don't buy it at $1,100, I miss out on another $1,000. You know what I'm saying? In profit per. So I bought it at $425. It goes up to $1,900, and then it goes to it goes up to $2,100. I'm sorry. So it got to $1,900. It goes down to $1,100. If I buy it at $1,100, I could have wrote it from $1,100 to $2,100. One, it's an amazing company. It's a company that I've shouted to the mountaintop from. You know what I'm saying? So don't be so stuck on not bringing your cost basis up if the right opportunity presents itself. Because from $1,900 to $1,100 is an amazing discount on a company. Yes, I buy it at $1,100. I probably bring my cost basis up to probably like, I don't know, maybe $700, $800. Nah, I don't know. But then I now ride it up to $2,100. That's a whole nother 100% that you miss out on. So don't feel bad at not doing it, but just don't be too down on yourself for bringing your cost basis up. The second part of that question is, listen, I know and that's why I had to make this post in the Patreon group. Don't get so caught up on missing an option play. I'm gonna put them in there. When I make money, when I see opportunities, I'm 100% gonna dump it in there on you. Just because you miss one play, you rock it with me. We rocking together. My goal, when I make money, you make money. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have a problem with that. So you'll get another play from the options table. But the goal is always to use, in my mind, profit from my options. When I cash out, I always put some of it in my buy and hold portfolio because I use profits to put me in better position. So I hope I answered the question for you. Don't be afraid to, yes, Tesla has been on a run, but Tesla and NVIDIA are almost the same type of company and how they perform. They will go on runs out of this world, and then they will fall for 6 days straight, making you second guess everything you did. You feel what I'm saying? Like they both operate the same way. So be willing to bring the cost basis up, especially, and the reason why, I guess the third part of this question is, because it's not just one of the things I don't like to do is give cookie cutter answers, man. So the third part of the question is, if you understand how much of the company that you want to own, that also helps you understand when and when not to buy. Here's an example of that. If you know you want to own 100 shares of the company and you own 10, then you looking at those dips in a certain way and you know when to buy. But if you own 100 shares of it now, you're not worrying about what it does. You can move to your next company, right? And I think I think that helps so many people learning how much. That's what I did. I started off, I want to own 100 shares. And then I graduated. All right, now I want to own 500 shares. And then I graduated. Now I want to own it. So now I'm like, I need to own 2,500 shares. You know what I'm saying? But you take that on your journey, you move in increments. You know what I'm saying? And I hate that people tell people this, man, them little shares ain't gonna do nothing. Everybody know you need a whole lot. Like always in my comments, I put up a post I said, Saturday, I got a dividend payment from NVIDIA. Not NVIDIA, Costco. It's $110, $102. Man, that ain't no money. It's $102. It was $102. But yes, the $102 not nothing. Yes, I do own 100 shares of the Costco. But watch this. The stock price been up since I own it, so my equity increased as well, right? I'm reinvesting the dividends, so that's moving as well. So they notifying it for me. The goal is not for me to own 100 shares. The goal is for me to own 2,000 shares. So boom, when I see the opportunity, I'm gonna go get. Remember, you playing a long game. be willing to incrementally increase. But if I let that discourage me, then I could look at Warren Buffett and say, bro, this dude getting billions of dollars from dividends. I ain't gonna never get that. Does that make me stop buying it? Hell no. I ain't Warren Buffett. I'm Wall Street Trapper. I'm moving at my own pace. You are whoever you are. Move at your own pace. But know that where you are now is not where you're going to end at. And if you stay consistent with putting in there, and again, what happens when new truth collide with old beliefs? Before you felt like, yo, I don't got enough money. Well, now you know I just got to make the money I got work for me. And as I increase money, I don't increase spending, I increase investments. God damn. God damn, that was good. So I hope I answered your question, B-Dog. Let's go a little further. Today, we got one more? That's it. All right, man, let's go on a little commercial break right quick. Let me see a commercial right quick.
What's good, Trappers?
There you go.
It's your boy, the Wall Street Trapper. Right now, I want to invite you to an amazing experience full of value. That is my community, Trappers Anonymous. It's 100% the greatest fundamental investing community on the market. Listen, your portfolio should be a masterpiece. And the only way we get you there is if we help you to learn how to invest with confidence. Now listen, I get it. Like, you don't know a lot about stocks, or maybe you've heard people say how much money they lost in stocks, but I can guarantee you, one, because they weren't in the community, and two, they lack the information. Our goal in Trappers Anonymous is to help you, really to hold your hand on the journey to becoming a confident investor, learning how to navigate through the different events that the stock market goes through to take you from panic to encouragement. There's no better time than now. This is an opportunity only for those who are willing to be on the journey. So listen, man, click the link below. Come join me in Trappers Anonymous, man. I will see you in one of our many classes, whether it's Moat Monday, whether it's the 2-hour class we do on Sunday, or whether it's just a book club. Everything is geared toward making you a better investor so you can triple your net worth and turn your last name to an asset. It's your boy, Wall Street Trapper. See you in the trap.
All right. Listen, man. We in. We moving. Again, man, for everybody that wants to join Trappers Anonymous, Jose 100% put that in the chat. Definitely. LaShawn, are we ready for the link for? Jose has the link. Man, get your tickets to the first show in Atlanta. It's going to be amazing. We will have the rest of the dates, specifically probably by the end of this week, early next week. And I'm excited about that. Patreon group, we excited about that. I'm not gonna lie. I think I was telling Jose the other day. Oh, if it wasn't Jose, it was somebody. I say, man, I already know how to make money in the market. I don't surprise myself when I make money. This is what I love. I be almost crying when y'all make money. I ain't gonna lie. I be almost crying. I be like, it makes the only thing that interrupts me from smiling at y'all is when my daughter give me a moment. Cause then I don't be worrying about y'all. I'll be like, you know what I'm saying? But when it comes to, because I know what that feel like, to have Tail believe me, because it ain't that you don't believe me, it's hard sometimes for people to believe that you can do it. You know what I'm saying? Be like, man, he could do it because I don't know if I could do it. And we have this thing where we don't truly be believing in ourselves to make profound financial investment decisions. We believe that we can pay the bills on time. We almost believe that we can save money, almost, because we got problems with that. But when it comes to investing and making money, it'd be hard for us sometimes to believe that. And when I see us making money, like when I saw the dude say, Trap, I made $13,000 in 1 month, I just had to stop for a second. Because I know what that feels like to say, bro, like I invested $79 in this dude. I had to put the capital up to make this investment. So one, you had to break 2 barriers right there. One, you had to break the barrier that said, I'm gonna trust this man to help me. 2, you had to break the barrier to say, I'm gonna put my money now in his investment. So I know what you broke through to get, I know that right there was a fight in its own. And then to see that thing go from whatever to whatever is just, I love it, man. When somebody be like, Trapper made $83. And I hate when people do this. It ain't much as yours. No. We not doing that. Them $83 is heavy. Because in 2018, I made my first $100 from an option trade, and I was doing flips. I'm like, look at that boy. You know what I'm saying? And I graduated from $100 to $150 to having a $500 day, having $1,000 day. Look, he in here right now. He said, Trap, it's 20K now. He in the chat. Last week it was 13. He said, Trap, it's 20K right now, baby. You feel me? Like that, man, that mean a lot to me as an educator, as somebody who know when you can really tell people, bro, this works. Queen, this works. You might don't get it right. One of the queens in the group, and it's not even about me trying to push it, but because in the Patreon, Jose reminds me, hey, go read the DMs, bro. So I go read them every day. I go read them and I talk to people. And the lady, one of the queens came to me and she said, Trap, I missed the altar play. I forgot to exit. So I said, damn, how much you down? So she was like, man, I'm down 1,800. She's like, but I ain't tripping. I'm gonna get out of it. But the Apple, Nvidia, and Tesla play, I'm still up. I'm in the green. I say, how much? She was like, about 20%. I say, man, look at that right there. So because the fact that she was up on the other play, she like, yo, I'm going to take the $1,800 loss because I ain't pay attention. I missed it some kind of way. I'm going to take that. But the other plays that I was paying attention to still got me up. So, and I'm like, yo, that's what we doing. That's how we playing the game. You feel me? So, and it shapes your mind to say, I'm going to take a L. But watch this. This is always my thing. And I'm going to get to this, flush it or flip it. There's so much data inside of the L that you can learn from. There's so much information inside of the loss. This strategy that I put together inside of the option course, even the way that I'm doing my options now, it ain't, I promise you, y'all, for the people that's going to get it, you can be like, oh, this ain't on YouTube. My mentee group is somewhere in there. They done already did options before and everything, and I showed it to them. They was like, oh, my guy, his name Andy, he up 200% on a Google Play. He was like, bro, you should have never showed me that, bro. He took off. He said, Trap about 200%, I ain't go to work today. I said, why? He said, for what? I said, no. No. Abort that mission, fam. Abort that mission, my guy. Don't do that. We too early in the journey for that. But it's so much data for me. And I practice what I preach. Yo. If I take an L, I lost $100,000 on PayPal, yo. I was like, man, ain't never happening to me no more. That ain't never happened anymore. I'm about to go study this. I'm about to go see what I did wrong. I'm about to go see what I'm missing from my own research. And that's how from October last year to now, in total, I've only lost on 2 trades. 2. And it's documented from April. No. September last year, I made my first trade again because I just sat out the market. From September last year to now, I've only lost 2 trades. I've documented it every week on here. I lost on the Ultra trade. I lost on the XLE trade that I knew I shouldn't have got in. But I got in it because I thought, and that I thought is hope. I thought, okay, Saudi Arabia did this. I think this gonna happen. But my information told me no, but I went against that. So I was man up. That's the only 2 trades I lost on. That's it. We ain't lost on nothing else. The Ultra trade, that caught me off guard. It was running, we was up like 6,000 now, blinked my eye, woke up, it's dumb like, oh, whoa. I don't know. Ladies, y'all stopped buying the makeup that week or something. I don't know what happened. But that's part of the game. But there's so much data inside the research, inside the loss. I was like, bet. And I found my system, and I ain't. So just doing that, man, I know I went on a little rant because I really, man, I know how powerful that is when you can legally print money. There's so much power in being able to legally say, this machine prints money. All I got to learn how to do is operate the machine. My cousin was a crane operator, right? There's 2 things that he has to have. The patience, because he's picking up stuff. You can't just pick it up and move with it. The patience, and then the know-how. You got to have patience to see the stuff, patience to work with the people. He got to be patient in pulling triggers because as men, as women who are attaching stuff to crane, because I was an iron worker, we do stuff wrong. We hook it up sideways, we hook it up wrong, and he got to blow the horn. Hey, man, switch that. Man, pull that guy down. Don't tell me what to do, man. Man, I'm not moving it till you hook it up right. All right, bro, man, hook me up in that tripping, man. Hook the damn thing up right, man. Patience. And the next one is the confidence in his ability to operate the crane so he don't hurt nobody. Same thing with the market. The patience to be able to see the play and move with it, and the confidence to operate it so you don't hurt yourself. But bro, when you can do it, mentally unemployable. I want y'all to put that in your head. Not that you got to quit your job, but mentally unemployable to now you can do your job because you love it and not because you have to do it. That's a different thing. There's people who love teaching in the schools. We need you. And some days maturing get on your nerve. Guess what? If you learn how to print some money, guess what you're going to call a principal and say, I'm not coming in today. Why? Because the churn got on my nerve yesterday. You feel what I'm saying? It ain't that you don't love teaching, but you just ain't got time for little Jessica, and you ain't got time for little Brandon who keep pressing on the table. All right, man, this segment is called Flush It or Flip It. This is by far has become one of the most exciting segments of this show. And I don't know why. But whether I'm right or wrong, people love it. I kind of love it too, though. All right, Toodie, let's get into it. All right, so we got 10 companies. I am going to, this dude here always be, don't invest in the companies, bro. I asked him, he told me he bought a company. I said, what the research you did? He said, flush it or flip it. I said, what? I said, what? Man, you fired, man. You're going against the grain, man. All right, so Flush It or Flip It has truly become one of the most popular segments of the show. I actually love it because I'm excited, because I think it's more than about whether I'm right or wrong. It's the excitement in knowing what am I going to pick. And I think it's just exciting. I got to tell my homie Zay in the comments. He said, Trap, how the hell? I saw him in the comments last week. He said, Trap, how you going to flush Walmart in a recession? And I was like, man, you know, the numbers ain't mad. And I ain't gonna lie, this week, Walmart had some good numbers, man. So Zay, you know, you was right on that one, but I was right on a whole bunch of other stuff. So, you wanna get a theme song for it? Like a little, all right, flush it or flip it, flush it? I don't know. All right, let's get into it, man. First company in flush it or flip it is AutoZone. AutoZone specializes in aftermarket parts and accessories for cars. They are America's largest part dealer. They're America's largest part dealer with 7,014 stores. They are bigger than Napa. They are bigger than O'Reilly's. They are bigger than the other companies. Now, while it does look like AutoZone has been killing it for the year, AutoZone is only up 1.3% year to date. Question, AutoZone, flush it or flip it? We flushing you, AutoZone. We flushing you, AutoZone. We flushing you, AutoZone. And the reason why I'm flushing you, AutoZone, as they say, flip it. The reason why I'm flushing AutoZone is because Copart is a better business. Copart is a better business, Zay. Next, Intuit. Intuit is a fintech company, financial technology company that specializes in financial software. Intuit also, I think, has Mint, Acorns, one of them is inside of that. They specialize in helping you organize your finances. They actually even have a tax service for it. So Intuit is up 14% year to date. Flush it or flip it? We definitely flipping it. I like Intuit. Next, Toll Brothers. Toll Brothers is a company that designs, builds, and sells homes. They are the 5th largest home construction company in America. If you're in Atlanta, if you just go around Atlanta, you'll see a whole bunch of signs on those apartments and high rises that says Toll Brothers. Flip it or flush it? I ain't telling y'all. Because y'all gonna say yes based on, see, I got hold of y'all in two companies. I realized I'm gonna tell y'all afterwards what the year today is. Flush it or flip it? What you say? We're gonna flip Toll Brothers. We're gonna flip Toll Brothers. Toll Brothers is up 26% year to date. Also, remember, I own a company in the Recession Portfolio called TPH. Why? Because I told y'all what? Even though real estate is down, home building is up. So they still building. Home building is up. So we are going to flip Toll Brothers. NVIDIA, NVDA, is a chip design company. They definitely are in the revolution of AI. The GPU chip is probably the most sought after and famous chip in the game right now. NVIDIA has definitely been on a tear this year. Flip it or flush it? God dang. They flipping on their own. All right. There we go. By the way, NVIDIA is up 114% year to date. All right, this one is going to be good right here. Zay, I want to see you on this one too. Snowflake is a company owned by Warren Buffett for sure. It's a cloud-based data company that brings in $2.6 billion in revenue. Now, data is becoming an extreme play again, and they're also helping companies store their data with some of your high-tech companies. I will not tell you what is up year to date, but the company has a lot of growth, and I talked about it. I'm not saying growth is good or bad. Remember, we're fixing it or flushing it, flipping it or flush it for right now. We're not talking about long term. So, Snowflake, flush or flip it? We're going to flip Snowflake. Snowflake is up 29% year to date. They making some money right now. All right, Marvell. Marvell is another. No, Marvell. No. He got the wrong company up there. He got the wrong company. I should have told him that. So it's supposed to be Marvell, which is it's a tech company. I should have spelled it out a little more for my dog, Steve, man. I should have put that in there. No, Steve, it's the tech company. Not Marvel, but Marvell. It's a tech company. Damn, my dog. I'm going to take that L for him, right? You hear me? So Marvell is a technology company. They actually deal with what's called generative AI right now. They have a lot of growth in the company. The company is definitely inside of the AI, inside of the autonomous space. They actually help make motherboards, what you call them, the motherboards for the chips and all that. Great company in the tech space, brings in $5.9 billion a year in revenue. Flush it or flip it. Cause y'all thought it was the movie company. Now y'all all throw it off now, huh? Now y'all all throw it off right now. We gonna flip it, man. Marvell is up 29% year to date. All right, Costco, man, is one of the leading wholesale discount companies when it comes to retailers in America. They make a lot of money based on their membership. They make a lot of money based on low overhead in the way they design their business. Costco, flip it or flush it. Because I own Costco, I'm not going to be biased. In the short span, Costco is only up 4% year to date. They definitely not performing as well this year. I think right now the retailer will be in a tight position. Even though Costco sells stuff on a large scale and wholesale, I just think right now people looking in their house like, you know what, I don't need to buy nothing else right now. And so I think they will not perform well over the next quarter. It's just my opinion. I don't think it'll perform well over the next quarter. And I think we'll see. Ulta Beauty. Ulta Beauty is one of America's largest salon, cosmetics, and beauty chains. They went crazy during the pandemic because the CEO positioned them so well with online cosmetics. As of now, Ulta Beauty is up 1.9% year to date. Flip it or flush it. We definitely got to flush y'all, man. Y'all ain't. And I'm biased. You cost me some money. You messed up my record. All right, I got one for y'all here. This is going to be good. Restoration Hardware. For all y'all ladies that be liking to do the house over and redo and decorate. Restoration Hardware has a number of 20 subsidiary companies that it is distributed under their name brand. They specialize in luxury and detailed home improvement and home design. Restoration Hardware, flush it or flip it. People ain't got no money, right? You ain't got no money right now. Restoration Hardware is up 1.34%. We're gonna definitely flush them. Last one is Medtronic. Medtronic is a medical device company. I love medical device companies. It's a company that specializes in creating medical devices. They make $31.69 billion in revenue a year. Flush it or flip it. You're gonna flip that. Flip that. You know why? Because people who need hearing aids gonna always need hearing aids. People who need their heart monitors fixed, they're gonna need their heart monitors fixed, and you cannot not pay for that. It's a matter of life and death. So I like Medtronic. They up 12% year to date. They performing pretty good. That's our segment of flush it or flip it. How y'all feel about that, y'all? I like flush it or flip it. That's my thing. I like that. All right, let's go a little further. All right, man. So this is 100% one of my favorite parts of the show is when we talking about when we just start talking about music in the music industry. I think that music is so pivotal and so vital to a lot of our just day-to-day lifestyles, our day-to-day activities. And so I try to find music or verses inside music that inspires us and that helps us move. And so this week we're gonna go with just Jeezy. He ain't say nothing major, but it was something that I like. So let's go to it. He says, "Tone forward on me, you know the soup place. Assets and cash flow. We re-rockin' when the cash low. Drop a whole, bring a half back." For me, I looked at that And I'm saying what he said, but the key component in here was assets and cash flow. We re-rocking when the cash low. When I first did the options class, I said something. I said, we don't have to always look for something new. We could just keep re-rocking it. And that just means we just keep rinsing and repeating. And I think that's important on the journey is real assets do three things for us. They are assets, they increase our net worth, and then they help us buy freedom. Some of the better assets produce cash flow. The more cash flow that you can create from an investment, the better that investment is. Just keeping it real. Stocks are amazing, but everyone should have a dividend account where you are only focused on cash flow. And yes, that takes money. Everybody should, I feel, should at least own one rental property. Cash flow. Without cash flow, you'll always have to at some point sell the asset to get what it's made for you. And even though it looks good on paper, until it's a realized gain, it serves you no justice. So while I invest for the long term, I also put things in position for me for cash flow. Whether it's learning the options that I can put, that's cash flow because that's money that I now take, move it around. Cash flow is essential on the wealth building journey. Cash flow. All right, man. So we come to this part of the show. I think it was an amazing show tonight where we talk about wise words from the OG. I love this. I love the idea. I love the concept of building wealth. I love it because it now gives me the power to change the trajectory of my family. And once you make that shift in your life, a few things cannot exist. Mediocrity, confusion, and scarcity. Mediocrity, confusion, scarcity. Mediocrity is we are looking at ourselves in a higher light. We raising the bar. We're raising the bar on our ability to invest. We're raising the bar on our ability to produce money. We're raising the bar on our ability to attain freedom. Scarcity. Thinking that there's a lack of money. Thinking that I personally can't achieve this goal. And then confusion. To me, confusion happens when the information and the lack of information are wrestling over who is dominant, which leads to confusion. But once we erase these things, once we eradicate these three components, we then tap into a realm of unlimited possibility. The unlimited possibility is what helps us make the shift. We've put limitations on how free we think we can be. We put limitations on how much money we think we can earn. I remember once telling somebody about $1 million and they thought it was impossible. And I don't want to toot my own horn and I'm doing this, but I want to use this as reference. I remember I had a $1 million day. That may seem impossible to a lot of people. And I ain't gonna lie, and somewhere in my mind, it may be have been possible to me. But I never doubted that it can happen because I saw other people do it. And I have this thing where if somebody else can do it, God damn it, I know I can do it too. And so my new goal is $1 million trade. It won't happen today. It won't happen tomorrow, but it'll happen because I have the information and because I now have the self-belief. That's the thing we got to increase on this journey. I'm not comparing myself to Warren Buffett. I'm not comparing myself to how much money this person have. All I'm doing is doubling down on the self-belief of what Trap can do. And one of the most amazing things that you can ever do as a person, as a human being, is go in your brain and say that I can create something and then take that thought and then turn it into reality. I think that is one of the most powerful things that anybody can do, is take a thought and turn that thought into reality. And then when that reality affects other people, that is when we see something truly profound and remarkable. I had a grandmother once ask me, Trap, is it too late for me to start investing? I said, why would it be? She said, because I probably won't see it. I said, that's okay. You may not see the acorn turn into an oak tree, but you definitely can see it sprout. But guess what? A tree planted today can feed a family for generations. And that possibility, that potential is what makes it all worthwhile. So when you look at yourself, when you look at your partner, and you think about kids, or you think about your nieces, you think about your nephews, I want you to look at them and think about the possibilities that you can create for them. Because I'm going to be honest with y'all, like for me, money is not where I'm at in my life. And I know you can say, Trap, well, you at a certain level, so that's it. No, they got people that always want to make money. My goal now is, how deep, how can I anchor the people that come behind me to freedom? How deep, how can I anchor them to possibilities? I just read a book. The people went 120 years. They set them up for 120 years. Ain't too much more you can ask from them. They did their job. They did their job. 120 years. That ain't no easy task, but it's not impossible. Because Sam Walton been dead for some years now, and he got 5 generations on the Fortune 500. 5 of them. 5 of them on the Forbes list. He been gone. So I always ask myself, how many generations can you set free, Trap? On your family. How many people will be responsible for living a different life? How many people will be responsible for learning new information? How many people will live based on the information and the family SOPs that you put in place? And that gives me pride. That gives me joy. That gives me hope. You think about people, and I don't just want to use Harriet Tubman, but when you think about how many people it took to say, yo, I'm gonna go get my freedom, and then I'm gonna come back and free some more people, and then I'm gonna go get some more people, and I'm gonna get some. I want you to look at yourself as the trailblazer, and you look at yourself and say, all right, how many people before me got free, but how many people behind me can I free up? What if you're a woman and you meet a guy and you can change his perspective on money and finances? What if you're a guy and you meet a woman and you can change her perspective on money and finances? Now there's no collision on the potential of where the family going. The information, education and information changes the conversation. Once you change the conversation, you change the compensation. Once you change the compensation, you now change the realization. That simply means once I get the education, I can have a different conversation. Once I have a different conversation, I can make more money. And once I make more money, I can live a new life. That's all that's saying. Those are the components. Those are the elements. But what happens is America, Wall Street, education, financial advisors, everybody makes this information seem so hard when it's just a simple equation. But we gotta unearth our old habits. We have to be engaged actively in the concept of I am going to change my financial blueprint. I am going to be the architect of my family's legacy. I am going to turn my family's last name into an asset. The reason why I put that in that mantra is because that is so profound. That's in my heart. My cousin right here, you know why he believed? He don't believe just because he saw the money. He saw me doing it. He saw people making money before. But it hit different when I see my cuz doing it, when I see my cuz living it. The same way I am to him, so now he walk around with his chest out because he know one thing, he is in proximity. And so now what happens is he has to now create new behavior patterns, create new learning, and that's cool. That's what I'm here for. But here's this, you're somebody else's cousin, you're somebody else's daughter, you're somebody else's friend, you're somebody's father. Guess what? What you learn now makes it possible for them. Because I can see all the people making money I want. Them people ain't gonna have the same type of learning intimacy like I'm gonna have with my cuz. It's easier, we speak the same language. I'm patient with him. No, cuz, that ain't it. Yep, nope, do that. That's how you are. You getting the information, you writing it down, you taking the notes. But guess what? You ain't let the information work for you yet, so they ain't gonna believe it. But watch when it start working for you. I want you to focus on right now making the information work for you. I want you to focus on right now making money from the information. Don't even worry about teaching them. Whisper it. Plant a seed. I remember I planted the seed in him in 2014. He ain't come around to 2021. But guess what? I ain't closed the door. The door stayed open. The door stayed open. Because we won't know, I taught you in 2000. You should have took me then. No, come on, let's go. That's because I done got better. I could do it with my eyes closed now, so guess what? It's easier for me to teach it to you now. It's easier for me to explain it to you now. You trying to teach people stuff that you can't even much explain yet. Take your time. Know that it's a journey. Don't feel like you're missing out. You are, watch this. You are right where your education has put you in. You are right where your lack of education has positioned you. What happens when a new truth collides with an old belief? You have to make the choice on the one that advances you. The stock market made me realize, the streets ain't it. The stock market made me realize, I can be wealthy just like them. The stock market made me realize this is ownership. The stock market made me realize, why does the wealthy 10% of the world own 89% of the stocks? That means somebody ain't doing something right. The stock market made me realize so much. What happened though? A new truth collided with an old belief. What was the old belief? I'm gonna keep it real with you. If you ain't hustling, you ain't getting no money. If you ain't in the street trap, you ain't getting no money. That was my old belief. That don't gotta be yours, but that was mine. What are the old beliefs that you are standing on? What are the old beliefs that you are anchored to? What are the old beliefs that are handicapping you? I need you to get rid of them. I need you to make the decision. In the words of my mentor, Eric Thomas, I need you to set a new standard. I need you to see all the financial capabilities. I need you to increase your capacity so you can increase your territory. I need you to do that. It is imperative because what we do know is the people running this country don't have a goddamn clue on what they're doing. But we can't change that. We can't do nothing about that. That's out of our hands. So I can't never say, what would I do? I can't do that. I'll say it, but I can't say it. But you know what I can do? I can make sure when it all fall down, if it all fall down, when it all fall down, if it have the possibilities to all falling down, guess what I can do? I can make sure me and mine's good. I can make sure my friends know how to move. I can make sure my cuz, my daughter, mama, I can make sure we know what's good. And then I can help as many people as I can, but I can't make you execute. You can't make your people execute. But what you can do is put them in position, and it's up to them to drink the water. It's up to them. 120 years. Ain't no way in the world they're supposed to fall. But guess what? They put them in position. They put him in position. The man was an advisor to 4 presidents, and he was a close friend to John D. Rockefeller, at that time the richest man in the world. You don't do that from not knowing what you're doing. I want you to let the information blossom. And then once it blossoms, then I want you to focus on changing everybody around you. But you ain't gonna never stop learning. What happens is, and I'm telling you this from the depths of my heart, we are a people. And I'm talking about lower class, middle class. I focus on classism more than I focus on race, y'all. Once you show us it's possible, once you show us it's real, once you show us it works, we all in. You know why scammers gonna always have a job, real talk? Because some kind of way they find a way to show you that somebody else did it. They find a way to show you, hey, this person did it. Look, I turned 1,000 to 10,000 with this one person. And guess what the people at the lower class do say? Yup. I promise you, man, investing will change your life. I promise you, investing will change your family. I promise you that my role is just to facilitate and to give you the information. Your role is to execute. Your role is to execute. And your thoughts and your beliefs set you up for what's possible. It's your boy, the Wallstreet Trappin, man. Welcome to another amazing episode 44. New beliefs and new truths, man. Listen, man, each and every Thursday at 5 o'clock, download it on Apple Podcasts, download it on your favorite podcast platform. Listen, man, we got the tour coming. Get your tickets to that. 7 sold out shows what we aiming for. Make sure you download it. Make sure you follow us. I will see you all next week. Salute.